up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
No one told you life was gonna be this way. Your job's a joke, you broke. Your love life's the old way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear. When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, even your year. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you like I've been there before. I'll be there for you, so there for
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Slaves used to work all day, every day, with no pay. But they got free food, water, and shelter. Today, we work all day, nearly every day, and we get paid. But the money we make, we spend on food, water, and shelter. We're still slaves. The only thing that has changed is the illusion of freedom.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square. Stop! Don't touch me there. This is my no-no square.
Now let me see you what? Drop it to the flow, drop it to the flow then. Now lean
nothing. Everybody call me Big Pimpin'. No, I ain't bluffing. I'm with your mom in the kitchen, making blueberry muffins.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness of the biscuit with the honey sauce. Don't get that honey sauce on me. I don't like the way it tastes with my chicken wings.
Chicken banana, chicken banana, chicken banana, banana, banana.
Hey man, just want to let you know that sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up. You gotta shut the fuck up. And this current time is just one of those times you gotta shut the fuck up.
I don't think you're a bad person. I just don't want to hear you talking anymore. You gotta shut the fuck up. I remember when I lost my mind.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. We're got D-Man up here with us, and we're just grooving right along here on a Saturday night. What do you think there, man?
Drug free? What does it say?
It says drug free. I ran out yesterday. Always some kind of a smart ass shit on my shirt. I'll be buried probably in one of these things if I get buried or whatever they'll do. Mummify me or electroplate me.
There you go.
You know, they have that. Get
electroplated.
Yeah.
You'll have to do some kind of pose with a cardigan sweater with a pipe pointing at someone. Yeah. The library picture in the background.
You could do shit like that and you just really fuck with them psychologically, you know? And psychologists do this, right? Like I lived at and worked in a bed and breakfast over in Harrisonburg years back, and I cooked and everything, and was in charge of the housekeeping people and all that. I was like the number 2 guy. Anyway, the guy that ran it was he just died here not too long ago, and he was a professor emeritus of psychology or psychiatry or psychology or whatever at James Madison University. And he'd run a practice, but I think he got his license took from him for some kind of shit that was pretty shady or whatever. But in any case, it was funny. He'd want to have a meeting with me. So I'd go. He like lived in the loft. He had his office up in the loft, like of the house. It was a real old late 19th century house, and I'd go up there and he's sitting, and I could tell the different shit that he would do. He'd ask me something, you know, and he'd sit back like this when he's talking to me like that, and I recognized that, you know. And so when I'd talk back to him, I would mimic his own gestures, you know, stroke my beard, my chin, and study him as he was talking, you know.
It's listening intently.
It's
very concentrated.
Like, you know, you do like that, and it's almost accusatory, you know.
Yeah. Well, you do listening.
Where do you come up with the idea that you know?
Where were you on the 13th?
There's little shit you can do, you know. If you stand in slightly above someone else, that works psychologically too, because you're in a dominant position. Yeah. You see,
staring constantly.
Yes, that's why.
Staring at your eyes constantly, never stopping looking at you, no matter what. Even if you turn back, someone's staring at you immediately again. That's another one.
Here's something that you can do that really fucks with people is you just look them right in the eye as you audibly fart. Just look at them dead nuts right in the eye while you cut a fart. They don't know what to do.
Just do a Leslie Nielsen and turn your head so that way you look around like, what?
You just, you know, just like look at him with deliberate intention. This guy I worked
how dare you?
I worked in a restaurant over in Harrisonburg with this guy. He's still a great friend of mine. This was probably 20 something years ago. And This guy, he was a student at JMU at the time too, and it was so funny because the manager, she was blessing him out for something, and he's standing there looking at her while she's talking to him, and he just looked her dead nuts in the eye and just cut a fart, and she just got so fucking mad. It was so funny. She just got so goddamn mad, didn't know what to do. She just turned around and walked away. I'm over there cracking my ass up, man. I just couldn't believe he did that shit. But that's really something to do. Go into, if you do something that's just like against human protocol, not harmful, but that's just not what normally is done, people don't know what to do. Like, try walking around, but don't move your arms when you walk. Don't make any noticeable thing about it, but just don't move your arms, and people keep asking you if you're okay. They will. Get on an elevator and don't turn around and look at the door. Stay facing, looking back at the back. People get really fucking nervous. Why is this guy not turning around like everybody else does? They just don't know what to fucking do. It's hilarious. Anyway, Ryan sent this yesterday. Said he can't show it, but I can on mine. So I don't know what that means. I asked him why he couldn't show it on his, but he's probably hamstrung by monetization and shit like that. And that's probably why. Myself, I'm not. I'm like PBS, we're viewer supported. Are you still there, D-Man? You're muted. Okay. What is your background? What is your little thing there?
Oh, it's a art thing, but it's like the cubes are all, I don't know, it's from an old record. It's kind of cool. It's got some shrunken head thing in the middle, and on the outside it's like the cubes that are tilted, and it's every direction that you could tilt a cube. It just looks weird. I threw it up there for a second.
A cube.
I got
a cube that is viewed from its corner becomes a hexagon.
Yeah, that's what that is. It shows it in every angle that you could turn it, that it turns it into another shape. And it just does it like in a pattern that's real strange. It's almost like a, like an art thing,
Anyway, this is, Ryan sent this to me. He said I could show this on here. So I will. It looked pretty good. It's a little music video. Have a little fun here.
Oh, God. Boy, babe. Hey. Oh, God. Oh, God. To say today, but you blew it. He's Donald J. Trump and the J is what you is. Starting wars that have been our troops. Fell in love with his butt, but in Netanyahu. Guess you never stop Jews when they put their minds to it. He's Donald J. Trump and the J is what you is. Donnie the imposter, blame it on the quarterback and threw away the roster. Making all the miling trips, you must think you a roster. Started out with MAGA, now it's turning into Mazda. Dancing for them dollars, stripping down for Gaza. All them empty promises, think he worse than the Schwarzer. Oops, I'm in Obama. Yeah, Barack was strange, but the Donald and his owners want a different type of change. Dreidel, they gon' mold him like he clay. While they spinning it, spitting it back in our face. Let us pray. Oh God, boy, babe. All lies down in everything you say. DTJ, what the heck you were supposed to say today, but you blew it. He's Donald J. Trump and the J is for you. Starting wars that have been our troops. Fell in love with his butt, but in Netanyahu. Guess you never stop Jews when they put their minds to it. He's Donald J. Trump and the J is for you. All of these mistakes he made, I had to make a list. Yeah, never mind, I realized that the list does not exist. Okay, cool, everyone chill, back in position. Jews in the kitchen is only tradition. The money that's missing is part of the mission. We in the transition, so work on your Yiddish. We'll keep all the immigrants just like the British. Got the commissioner gassing me up, I just make sure to put back the pump when I'm finished. Put out the tapes and they missing a minute. I'm sorry, Joe Rogan, I promise I'm different. I'm just an apprentice, despite all my riches. I guess I'm just any other politician. Dreidel, they gon' mold him like he clay. While they spinning it back in our face. Let us pray. Oh God, boy, babe. All lies down in everything you say. DTJ, what the heck you were supposed to say today, but you blew it. He's Donald J. Trump and the J is for Jewish. Starting wars that have been our troops. Fell in love with his butt, but in Netanyahu. Guess you never stop Jews fools when they put their minds to it. It's not a change up and a chase for two ways.
Well, what'd you think?
Gotta love the mix-up videos and people chop them all up now. Like, there's so many of them for everything that you could think of. You could type in an AI video for just about everything at this point. Any word, anything that somebody has made a video, AI video.
Yeah, it's catchy and shit, but by the time it's over, you're kind of glad,
Yeah.
It doesn't, I was playing my guitar a little bit last night after I got off here and a little bit ago, it was weird because even though all the strings were in tune with each other, I started playing it. I was like, this just something ain't right. Well, I picked up my tuner and put it on there, and now it's just like little step down from 432 hertz, so everything was a little bit flat. I was like, oh, okay, that's why. But it was all within tune of each other. As soon as I got that sucker in tune, everything was like, wow. I just started fucking going, and I have to be careful because time will just fly by. I just sit there and just fucking play, and I wasn't feeling it, at first, and I was like, something's off. I bet you this thing's not tuned right. So I tuned it up, and bam, it was right. Connection. It's perfect. It's great. Well, here's a interesting little thing about the full cult.
Oh, did you check out that PDF I sent you on the other one?
No, I got it right here though. I haven't had a chance to look at it. I still have it right up here on the screen from last night.
Oh, all right, yeah. I wouldn't put it on here, but I mean, I put it on there just for the instructions. So even if you looked at those, I put it up there for you so you can see how it works.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at the drawings. I haven't gone into. There's all this. Some of this math is like well beyond me.
Well, scroll down a little bit more, and then it to the right on the letters on the right.
Yeah, experiment
tells you
procedure.
how to set it and how to adjust it, and the full instructions, like goofy person instructions, like okay, first plug the plug in the wall.
It's like pendulum on a horizontal surface, which is stable and will not shake. Jeez. A horizontal, it says put the Foucault pendulum on a horizontal surface, which is stable and will not shake. Okay, this is the where to set it up. Avoid direct sunlight. Now, why would that be? I wonder why you would want to avoid direct sunlight. That's interesting. Checking the distance between the pendulum bob and the electromagnet. Place the adjustment disc onto the measuring equipment and set up the length of the pendulum in such a way that the pendulum bob just touches the adjustment disc. So in other words, we're going to set it up to match what we think it should do if the earth was rotating. This is fucking stupid shit, man.
It's got magnets on the bottom that are push and pull. And as you manually pick the ball up and swing it, it goes over the magnets. One's a push and one is a fucking pull. So as it swings back, it then turns to the top, and the top does a click. So that way, as it's about to arc, it tilts over just a little bit and then makes it go through the next one. And then as it comes back, it just goes click and clicks again, and then it comes back. It's like, okay, I'll first plug the plug in the wall. It's like, hey.
God, deflect the pendulum with your hand and then release it carefully. Close.
It's all mechanical.
Yeah, like a grandfather clock.
Yep.
Only instead of having to wind it, it uses the magnet.
Yeah, and instead of the the swinger on the bottom on the grandfather clock or the cuckoo clock, it's got a ball on it that every time it swings, it gives it one click, and then it swings and it does a new swift, and then it turns.
Well, that's what the pendulum does. See, that's clock. A big weight on a clock that does that same thing. It's
a clock. It's like,
so
hey,
they've got to have it on a stable, horizontal. Level surface.
We can't spin it around at 1,000 miles an hour and tilt it at some crazy angles. How about upside down? How does that work?
Put it on a merry-go-round. Put it on that thing. You ever see that thing they have set up sometimes?
Teacups.
That's like all these hoops that are they're like concentric hoops, but they all turn in different degrees and shit, and they put you in the middle inside this harness and it fucks you
Now
out.
that would be a video, like, you're taking it to the amusement park and going on
Yeah.
the friggin'.
I had a video of a guy on one of those things, and I used to go, "This is what you think is happening to you right now," And they're like, "No, you don't notice it. You don't understand scale." I'm like, "Motherfucker, speed is speed." Okay, that's you don't understand scale. Oh, okay, wait, I don't understand scale. So if a speedboat and an ocean liner are both doing 25 knots, which one reaches its destination at first? They're both going from Maine to London. They're going to England. Okay. So both going 25 knots. Which one gets there first? It's still 25 knots, right?
Well,
let's suppose they're both going 25 knots and the big one slows down rapidly and the little one slows down rapidly. Do the people on both of those experience the same fucking effect?
No.
Yes,
What do you
they
mean?
do.
What do you mean by
Doesn't matter
effect?
the size of the thing, how fast it's fucking going.
Well, I mean, the bigger ship is going to have a different feel. Like if the water gets choppy, naturally, if it's a
Right,
small
so
boat.
that kind of a thing. But I'm talking about as far as speed is concerned.
Oh, okay, yeah, it's the same
They
speed,
say,
so-
"Well, it's one rotation a day." It doesn't matter. It's still 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still faster than the speed of sound. That's what you're suggesting. The Earth is rotating at faster than the speed of sound. You believe that when you're watching a sunset, you're actually falling backwards away from the sun faster than the speed of sound. That's fucking stupid. That's what they actually are believing. No, it's one rotation per day. It doesn't matter. It's 1,000 miles an hour. You're still subject to the same fucking physics, whether you're on a big thing going 1,000 miles an hour or a little thing 1,000 miles an hour, right? Let's take our speedboat and our ocean liner. They're both doing 1,000 miles an hour across the ocean, and they both hit a steel fucking wall, right? Do the people on board experience the same thing? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
same
they
effect.
continue forward at that same fucking speed. So scale has nothing to fucking do with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the effect of, like, let's say you were inside the ship and sitting in, and sitting in a chair, how it goes over, if the conditions were all the same, then yeah, there would be no
Right.
difference. But I mean, if the weather got nasty and you were on that giant ocean liner compared to that, 20-foot whatever boat, yeah, you're gonna
Right.
It's
It
gonna be
doesn't matter.
throwing you over like the effect is different over the surface also.
You're going to be subject to the same fucking physics. Okay, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Regarding inertia and motion. It's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you should have, like you should get way lighter by the time you get to the equator as well. You think about this. Centrifugal force. You're going right there at the equator. You'd be going over 1,000 miles an hour, being pulled away from the Earth because of centrifugal force and gravity fighting its ass off to hold you down, right? Yeah. Okay. Try that on a merry-go-round. Stand in the center of it.
Yep.
Grab a hold of those bars that are right there, right?
Yeah,
stand in the
stand
center
there.
of it. Have somebody just spin it a little bit, right? And see what happens to you as you try to walk out to the edge.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to start trying, your thing's going to start trying to throw you the fuck off of there.
We did it when we were kids. My
Mhm.
buddy had a Honda moped, and he said, "Get on it. Here, I'll put the wheel of the moped on the side of it."
Oh,
and I
fuck.
jumped onto it, and he started up the, kickstarted the moped and got it going a little bit while we were standing on it. And my buddy got on the outside of it and grabbed the rail, like holding on like you would hold on if it was just spinning a little bit. And he waited till he got on it. And then as soon as he got on it, he said, "You're holding on?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, and it whipped him off of that thing, like spit him right off of it and threw him into the thing underneath the swing set. and I felt bad because we were just kids. I didn't know. Like, holy crap!
I remember I remember being on that thing and getting the other kids to spin it real fast, and I got it so that I was like just holding on to those bars, right, one in each hand like that, and my body was sticking out level, right. And then this dumb kid walked up and I caught him right in the face with my foot, man. It hurt him too. I mean, it hurt him. It wasn't intentional or nothing. He was just really dumb kid. He was just, I swear to God, he was, yeah, that was that same kid. He always had like a gob of snot hanging out of his nose. Always. I remember being worried about having snot on my shoe from that. Anyway, here's a Falcott pendulum thing.
It's a big one.
Motion is abstracted, never directly detected. The Foucault pendulum of 1851 measured the precession of its swing plane over time, not Earth's rotation. To claim this detects rotation, you must first accept Newtonian gravity, inertia, and the concept of a rotating frame of reference. The pendulum gives you a pattern. The model gives you motion. Stellar aberration, measured by Bradley in the 1720s, detected an apparent annual shift in star positions. To call this Earth's orbital motion, you must assume constant light speed and treat distant stars as a fixed background. No star signals, Earth is moving. The effect emerges entirely from model calculations. Stellar parallax, first measured by Bessel in 1838, detected angular displacement of nearby stars against more distant ones. This requires triangulation geometry, straight light paths, and stationary background stars. Parallax measures relative displacement, not absolute motion. You cannot distinguish a moving Earth around a stationary sun from a moving sun around a stationary Earth using parallax alone. The Michelson-Morley experiment of 1887 was designed to detect Earth's absolute motion by recorded the speed of light both east and west. The result was null, effectively showing zero velocity change and failing to detect the Earth's supposed orbital motion. Earth's motion remained entirely model-dependent. Special relativity did not discover motion. It redefined motion as purely relational. Gyroscopes and ring laser gyros measure precession of their spin axis relative to a local inertial frame. They do not detect Earth spinning. They detect change in orientation relative to an abstract constructed space. The frame itself is a model assumption. Doppler shift in starlight measures spectral line shifts. To convert that into Earth's orbital velocity, you must assume the source's rest wavelength, a model of light propagation and a geometry of motion. This shift is real. The velocity is inferred. All conceivable historical experiments conducted failed to prove Earth's motion. What is actually measured is always a pattern relative to a frame or model. The instruments never record the Earth's motion itself. Motion is mathematically abstracted on top of the flat stationary reality of our plane. The ontology of a spinning, orbiting globe is not detected. It is assumed, calculated, and then presented as fact.
Don't they say that it doesn't go a constant speed either, that it slows down and speeds up? And you would definitely feel that big time.
Yeah, what they use as the speed of light and use as a constant is actually an average, an agreed upon average. And I think that it was at a physics conference in Bern, Switzerland in 1929, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it's like twice, right? There's Greenie Page. What's up, Greenie Page? Look at all these people. Gen X Tomcat 1965. Hell yeah, that's my year. Right on, brother. What do we got? Will M. Got David Crush. We got the whole usual cast of characters, the usual suspects in here tonight. Heresy Seeds here. Super Sidewater. Godzilla, thank you for your donation over on the Rumble yesterday, too. Thank you very much. And I got a one in my Cash App.
Scotty, New York City.
What's that? Yes, Scotty, New York City's here. Oh. I'm going to grab my phone here in just a minute so I can look at that and make sure I got the right person. There's Super Sidewander. What else we got up in here? Scotty, New York City. Oh, Heresy Seed. What do we? How many? 132 in here tonight.
Right.
Hot diggity damn. Eldon Bean is here. Eldon Bean, awesomeness. We've got, let's see, Too Chilly, like TFE. What's
They
that?
said hello in the chat too. The pre-chat.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant to get to that. Salutations from Scotty. Look at that. OA9842 135. What's that mean? The count. It's 137 now. Look at that. 2 more people joined us. We've got a lot of people watching. Let me look over here on the Rumble. I sometimes don't look and I miss things.
Yeah, we had some rumblers on the last one.
Yeah. There's 8 people on there watching. Sound off in the chat over there if you get a minute. Yeah. Dig that shit, right? So
Stephanie said, "Love the consistent Tonight Show with Sov." Heyo.
It is like that. It is. We get into some pretty crazy shit though, you know. So, you know, stuff that's relevant, but you know, we look at it from I think a different standpoint than most people.
Yeah. Did you see Cubby's video earlier? He put a video out with the number changer from the other night.
Oh yeah. He was showing that, man.
Yeah.
And
slowed it down so you could see the number change. Was
that
actually
was
going up.
Nuts. Why was it doing that? That was.
It was holding a 9 over it the whole time.
They were putting a hex on me or something.
Yeah.
Man.
They're like, you're doing too good here. Let's ratio that down.
Oh my God! What do you think about Iran and their threat to kill Trump?
Has anybody said anything about that being like an AI thing or a?
Well, he did supposedly put out a tweet that said that he's got like orders that if anything happens and to him that they're going to launch like 1,000 missiles or some shit at him or something. I don't know.
Here's my mentality with that scenario. Then if something does happen and it's not those people and it's somebody else or some other group or some other thing that happens,
you know who it's going to be.
It's going to go right to the blame to this person who could potentially not do anything at all. It's not like it's something that's a definitive, you know what I mean? Like
I think they're going to JFK DJT.
Didn't they give him a white hat a while ago?
Yeah.
And didn't they do the same thing to JFK?
Yeah, but JFK never put it on, I don't think.
No.
Donald Trump did. But see, here's the thing. We already know he's controlled and shit. And now it's like got to the point where, you know, I mean, I think given what's going on, Israel is going to pull some kind of 9/11 style false flag that may be actually taking out the president, attempting to take him out,
and then blaming somebody else.
Also, it's coming up on another election, so they're, you know, the midterms. Oh God, the midterms, and he likes to pull that fucking assassination card. He's already pulled it how many times now? 3 times? Twice? 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah, and some of those people are known for false flag stuff, meaning like Lavon Affair and the USS Liberty and all that.
You know what though? Here's the thing about these assassination attempts.
Tonkin.
You know deep down in yourself that they're not real. Most people have not come to the conclusion that they know it, even if they still think it happened, because they don't even talk about it. They don't even think about it. They're not even interested in it. Myself, I had to think, how many assassination attempts is this now? 3? Is it 3 or is it 4? Let's see. We had the guy that shot him in the ear. We had the guy at the golf course.
They had the car blow up.
Oh yeah, the car blow up. We had the guy. Let's see. Wait a second here. We had the car blow.
Oh, the one where they hushed him out of that place wherever he was.
Yeah, the press dinner thing.
Yeah.
Right, the correspondence dinner. So it's 4. You know, he's going to pull that bullshit again, I think. And you know what? Here's the thing. If Iran, you know, I don't think they got the guts to do it, right? In fact, I double dog dare Iran to do it. Okay? I'm calling their bluff.
I don't know. I just see false flag all over anything like that. Whenever comments come up like that, that's the first thing I think of is saw
Oh,
pigs, false
absolutely.
flags. It's the first thing that pops in my mind every time.
Well, this came up kind of relevant again. This is crazy. Let me just real quick show that. Do you remember that Mexican supermodel Gabriela Jimenez? She
No.
come out of that restaurant freaking out about him eating people and shit.
No.
Oh yeah, this was a while back, but this is kind of crazy. She went missing after that. This is wild.
Everyone thought she was crazy until she went missing.
¡Comieron humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, de los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! ¡Fuera la carne humana!
They don't actually do that. Why would witches like Marina Abramovich and Lady Barfbag here be partaking in spirit cooking parties? Look at this. What they do to children starts to make sense when you realize it's a part of their religion. Let's wake up.
In one of dozens of endorsements of child sex, Simeon ben Yohai said, "A proselyte under the age of 3 years and a day is permitted to marry a priest." Agreeing with ben Yohai, the great Rabbah said, "When a grown-up man has intercourse with a little girl, it is nothing. Or when the girl is less than this, 3 years and a day, it is as if one put the finger into the eye." The footnote to this passage says, "As tears come to the eye again and again, so does virginity come back to the little girl under 3 years." The same section confirms that sexual activity with small boys is in the same category. The intercourse of a small boy is not regarded as a sexual act. In addition to adulterers, Christ, in the story of the Good Samaritan, portrayed the Pharisees as racial bigots, too self-righteous to respond to the suffering of one who was not a Jew. It is true, because of the wickedness of the Canaanites, which included sodomy and infant sacrifice, Israel had been commanded by God to be harsh in her treatment of the inhabitants of the land. God made it clear that the Canaanites were not simply to be avoided, but destroyed. By the time of the New Testament, this method of preserving God's kingdom by separation and the sword had become obsolete. God no longer made a racial difference between men.
But the Pharisees were unfazed by God's new agenda. The Talmud was finally written down nearly 5 centuries after Christ, yet its critical, even homicidal attitudes toward Gentiles might have been lifted out of the book of Joshua. However, the quickest way to grasp the Talmudic view of Gentiles is not directly from the Talmud, but from the Jewish encyclopedias. If we quote an isolated opinion from the Talmud, a rabbi may quickly object, saying, "But that is not the overall opinion of the Talmud. That is not the definitive view." What the Jewish Encyclopedia provides us is a definitive overview of perhaps hundreds of rabbinic statements on any subject, giving us accurate summaries of what the Talmud generally teaches.
Fuck, man. They got like, look, man, this is what they're pushing too. This is what they're pushing. Let me see here. I was gonna make sure. God, look at how vast that is. This is crazy. You know, this is what I don't understand, you know. You got these asshats that are all the time saying, "Oh, you think that there's an ice wall, duh." Right? And I'm like, motherfucker, you know, you've not seen this? Look at this shit, bro. And look how vast off in the distance it is. This is crazy. Look at that. Look how blue that is down there. You know, I wonder, is that actually what I'm getting the idea of is, I think that it's like frozen oxygen. I think that the firmament is frozen oxygen.
Don't they
you
say
heard
like
about
blue
that
ice?
blue ice? Have you
Yeah, I
heard
was just
about
gonna
that?
say that.
Yeah. And it when it melts, it's like super fucking cold. And when it melts, it doesn't melt into a liquid, it just goes away into a gas. But what gas does it turn into? Oxygen? Perhaps? I don't know.
If it's water. then yeah, it would. Well, I mean, if it's what would keep it
Frozen
cold?
oxygen. I think it's frozen oxygen.
Yeah.
It might be. I mean, there was some other, I think I got a video of it where there was somebody that I guess they made it to that point, and behind them, it's in these old movies, and it looks like ice. It looks like there's fucking like ice. I don't know. Be interesting to know though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, if the sun was on the outside of it, there'd be problems with that. So I don't know. Sun must be inside of it and far away from it.
There we go. See, is this one? Oh yeah. This is pretty crazy. This is in Walmart. It's in a Walmart in Ontario, Canada. They got face scans to access food.
Yeah.
Dude, the future sucks. When I was younger, I thought, man, that's going to be really cool. Future ought to be really cool. But no, I had more thinking, that, with more technology, man will become wiser. No, fuck no. It didn't.
Yeah, the opposite.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's really bad. It's turned into just like every dystopian nightmare movie that there is. Think about how many of them there are, stories about the very thing that we're plunging right into. If you really think about it, you've got George Orwell, right? 1984. You've got Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. I mean, you can meld all these things together, and all these dystopian stories always come right down to Terminator. Fuck, right? The Terminator. Metropolis, for crying out loud. So many stories of where the AI goes wrong, where the robots turn on everybody and it's fucked up. And yet, what is it? Who's at the top? Who's at the place that's who is it that wants to make this dystopian thing? It can't be the will of just one. It can't be the will of just one. Who is this to the actual advantage of?
Everybody.
Well, no, it's not to anybody's advantage that I can see.
Well, in their minds, I mean, that's the way they portray it.
Well, I think it's interesting that the flock guy values his privacy so much that his house is blurred out on fucking Google Earth, Google Maps, shit, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Good for the goose, good for the gander is the way I look at it. I think it coming right down to that's metaphorically. I think that's why that movie Mercy is a really great one. If you haven't seen it, look it up and watch it. It's where this guy, he gets accused of a crime, and he's got like a certain amount of time to prove his innocence using AI and surveillance from everywhere and all this other shit. It's like right out of, I mean, we're right around the corner from this very thing. And the irony of it is that the guy that's on trial in this chair, he's locked in this chair, and when his time's up, it's going to execute him, right? He came up with the idea for this chair. You see? And having an impartial AI judge. So this guy's in there trying to prove his innocence. And I mean, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get anything from it. I mean, if that was the case, then make it optional. And if you want to do that, then have fun doing it. If you don't want to, you don't have to. That's it.
I don't know, man. This is what I tell people all the time. And this is just like, motherfucker. Freedom. Look, freedom is scary, but it's preferable over living in a cage. All right. I'm sure that a bird is happier living in the wild, taking its chances against predators, snakes, other bigger birds, whatever, right? They take the chances, but they're happier being free. That's why they resist being caged. When they're caged, fuck, they're safe, aren't they? They're fed. But they don't get to fly. They don't get to be birds. They're just an artifact. You understand? So, and that's, I don't know, man. I don't know why people. So I tell people all the time, just like Ben Franklin said, those that would choose security over liberty deserve neither.
Yeah.
Just a yellow scoundrel dog, Go cower in a corner someplace. Lock yourself in a fucking metal box or whatever. Keep me out of your plans. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Well, they already have facial
Hey
scanners.
people, I'm at Walmart, Rockland, Ontario. Look what they're installing. Look what they're installing on the sensors are in, fellas. Yeah, sensors are in. This section here, there's no doors. They've just installed doors, and they have sensors everywhere. Look, see, sensors going right there. That's where it's going. Check, I'll show you there. See, there's a V-boot machine. No V-boot, no door. You don't do V-boot, door don't open. Most people don't know what's coming.
How do you get the food out if it don't beep boop for you? Then I guess you just don't get it.
The supermarket I go to sometimes has got sensors that all the lights are off on all the cabinets until you walk up near it, and then the sensor turns on and all the lights turn on as you walk. It lights all the lights up in the what do you call it? It shuts the light off if you get too far away from the sensor, and then it shuts the light off behind you. So I don't know. Maybe they're integrating that light sensor thing into something else.
So, well, you'll have to be if you're not able to get your food from there. In other words, like perhaps your social credit score or whatever is too low, and you're not deserving of those goods from that establishment or whatever, and it starts getting like that. Then what they'll have to do is maybe they could have a thing like New Eden for people. They could go through an audit. And if they're not able to sustain themselves, then they can go to a colony that they've established called New Eden. Do you see that movie, Humanity?
Yeah. You were talking about it the other night.
Dude, that is so fucked up. And we're headed there, bro. Because look, man, what are they doing with when they clear out all those homeless people like they did, when the Chinese president came to San Francisco or whatever? Remember that?
Yeah.
They cleaned out all the fucking homeless people.
Yeah,
What'd they do with them? Where'd they go?
They just pushed them out of town. That's all. They pushed them out to the edge of town and probably put them in some field somewhere or under a highway.
I think, you know what? I think that, they've got Utah. I think it's Utah has the first homeless internment camp.
I was just going to look for the link when you were talking about this because I heard about this the other day.
Yeah, bro.
On EI on the EI YouTube channel, and they were talking about that. Yeah, it's literally you can't.
Yeah,
it's a camp. It's like a FEMA
listen,
camp.
We're just now hearing about this. They've been doing this all over the place.
I'm sure they have.
What do you think? What do you think they're doing with all them FEMA camps? Those FEMA camps are staffed. Okay, those FEMA camps are staffed and funded. What are they doing with them? You can't get near them.
No, I wonder what they're doing when they bring the homeless people in there. If they're giving them shots or saying, they have like on-site medical, and oh well, you need to, I'm sure they're probably doing something to them so they could squeeze them off quicker.
It's hard to tell what the fuck they're doing with them.
They ain't giving them jobs and doing all that shit. That's for sure. So they're just. That's the thing that I think about. Like whenever I hear something like that, I know they'll probably be like, "Oh, I mean, you don't have the vaccine. Oh, well, here's 30 other ones." Who knows what they're doing to them people.
Levitating particles is an interesting deep dive. You mean like smart dust that the banks are using now? Banks are going to be using smart dust. Here's that's the kind of fucking technology that like they're talking about right there that TruthCon is up there saying about the
What,
levitating
nanotech?
particles, levitating particles. Okay. I think that's like with this smart dust. NASA gets all this fucking money and shit, and they think that, you know, everybody goes, oh, that's because they go to space and they have to build these rockets and all this shit. And that's all just a show. That money's going to the development of that kind of shit right there.
Yeah, other stuff.
Yeah, that's where it goes to. DARPA
Black project
shit,
money.
right? Like they expect us to believe that you can actually withstand the fucking G forces of how fast they say those rockets are going. And you can see they are not going the speed that they are telling you, not even close to it. You know, they just have that number coming up on the screen telling you this bullshit as you see it go up and arc out toward the ocean and disappear in the horizon.
You ever see the video with the guy in the suit and they put him in the vacuum chamber and he said, right before I started to lose consciousness, he said I could literally feel the saliva on my tongue start to bubble before I went completely unconscious. And they said it nearly killed him because they had to depressurize that thing to get in there to get him, because if they didn't, he was going to die. So they had to depressurize it way faster, and that gave him the bends. So he started to get the bends at the same time. It's like your blood and every fluid in you started to boil. That's why he passed out.
That's why that the environment that they're trying to simulate, it doesn't really exist, man. Now we can't handle low pressure. You know, biologically, we just can't handle low pressure. We're designed to be right here where we're at, right?
Surface.
We're not supposed to go real deep either.
No.
You know, so we've devised ways that we can. And we've devised ways that we can go much higher, but it still has its limitations.
Yeah,
one of the reasons that the rocket starts to arc over is that it's going to take that trajectory anyways, because it's going to get imbalanced with its thrust. It's going to start going slower. And why is it going to start going slower? Because as it gets higher, it's going to start losing medium to thrust against.
Yeah, it's getting
And
heavier.
so it starts to fall. It starts to fall. And it's going to fall. Yeah, that's how the damn thing works, man. It's you can't have if there's nothing to thrust against, it's not going to be any movement. Sorry.
And that sorry video that they show all the time with the bottle and the fucking chamber there, is the chamber's too small and it's actually pushing against the side of it.
Yeah, that's well, if you watch it in high speed, you watch it in high speed and then watch it so you can see it real good in slow motion. You can see that the particles and gases and shit are not only starting to fill the chamber, but once it hits the glass, then you see the movement start.
Yeah,
because then there's something to push against.
Yep.
They're not. Listen, nothing. They have to be dishonest. You know, and this is why I think one of the biggest promoters of that projection is, I think, Toon. He's retarded. He's like, oh, you got to lie to Flurf. Oh, fuck off. You know, your whole thing is a lie, and you know it's a lie. And that's why you have to be deceptive in everything you do. Your biggest tools are nothing more than parroting academia, which we've already determined is not there to make you smart. Okay, no more than voting is there to give you a choice. Listen, don't play their hamster games. Don't play their hamster games. That's all. Did that make sense what I was saying? I have a really nice buzz going on. Yeah, okay. Anyway, watch this. Here's what happens in real gravity at the top. Real G's.
Yeah, I got you, Stop. I got you. I've listened to all this stuff. Like I've thought about it too. Like, how would it push against anything? There's nothing there.
That's right. It's nothing. Isn't there something called pounds of thrust?
Yes.
How does that work in a weightless environment?
Yeah.
Weightless environment.
Well, thrust is because it's pushing that air as it's.
Well, not out where there's no air, right?
Exactly.
Where they say that, what is the definition of a vacuum? Deprivation of matter, right? Which is basically impossible. It is. It's absolutely impossible to achieve an actual vacuum.
You
In
ever been
fact,
on a road?
what is it?
I'm sorry, I was going to ask you because I was looking at that picture right there. Have you ever been on like a really insane roller coaster?
Yeah, it's a centrifuge. That
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
at the top. Are you talking about the guy in the
Yeah,
top
where it
part?
spins them around. But
Yeah,
that
yeah. He's in
centrifugal,
a centrifuge. Yeah, it's a centrifuge.
yeah, that centrifugal force, you can feel that on a crazy roller coaster, like one that's
Right,
really
right.
fast with that force, how it pushes you into the seat, and then it comes out of the, like something comes out of that corner and then it dips down. I mean, who could pulls you all up? I mean, it's the
Right.
natural forces of movement that you will experience no matter what. You think about that, like
And these guys are pulling how many G's?
3 to
Right?
4, but it's only pushing back and pushing you to the side. So it's it doesn't
Right.
change any of that. I mean, I'm sure they can
Well,
take
these
you
guys,
probably
all right, when you're getting blasted off in a rocket ship now, right? Let's
straight
just
back
watch.
force.
Let's see what happens.
Blimey! I lost everything there. Wow!
These are astronauts. This is fake. There's no way that you can be in this many G's and have your thumbs up just chilling like that. I mean, somebody smarter than me maybe explain to me how this is possible. I mean, I've been in high G situations.
Well, see, the other thing too is notice he's not wearing a pressure suit or anything like that. Like jet fighters wear a pressure suit that has it squeezes in and it lets out at certain points to try to keep the pressure, to move the pressure from your legs and move it up to the top of your
Yeah,
body.
but that can't stop the
Yeah, only a certain
centrifugal
amount.
force.
Yeah, yeah.
The force of the thrust. I understand what he's saying because they supposedly accelerate very, very quickly. And you think about this: if you've ever been in a high-end sports car and fucking put it down,
Oh yeah,
it
sticks you in the
puts
seat.
you back in the seat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, magnify that by 100.
I know the forces. It literally makes it so that pressure is hot enough that you can't even breathe. When you think about that force, they could probably apply so much force to it that it'd crack your ribs if they really hammered it on and knock you out immediately. Isn't that kind of the thing like bombs do? When bombs fall near you, that pressure change can get you to over aspirate.
The concussion wave. Yeah. The concussion wave. It can actually it cause internal bleeding, cause it to rupture organs and shit. Because that wave passes through you. You don't just block it and absorb it. It passes through you. You muffle it, of course, but you're taking that shock wave in. Yeah.
That displacement happening. And
Can't
pressure
handle
change
it.
if you're close to it. Yep.
Yeah, it's not a good thing. That's why a lot of times you can see there's people killed by a blast and there ain't a mark on them.
Yeah.
But their internal injuries are, ungodly.
Yeah.
Oh, look here. People say weed makes you dumb.
I've seen those flight suits. I've seen a flight suit once that had the pressure change, that had the pressure chambers in it.
Mhm.
Squeezes your body.
Mhm.
And I seen one of those, a real one, like an old one time. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh wow, cool. It's got the hoses off of it and everything. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Tom Cruise took that SR-71 up to Mach 7 or 8 or some shit like that. Yeah. And did you see the newest Maverick?
Goose Maverick.
Haven't you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
You have not seen the newest Top Gun? It's called
I have
Maverick.
not.
Oh yeah, they sent him back to be a teacher.
So he's like Chappie now.
Well, he's got to set up a squadron to do an attack in Iran.
It's like Iron Eagle.
Kinda. Well, no, not really. So, actually, what it is, okay, so one of the pilots that comes there to be at the Top Gun school, and he's training them for this mission, one of them is Goose's son. So there's an animosity kind of with the son because he thinks that Maverick killed his dad.
Iron Eagle. Chappie.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Come on. Lou Gossett Jr. Let's go take all these old fighter planes, get all these old fighter pilots from the war and shit. That was kind of silly. Anyway.
What country were they attacking? I forget.
It was some Islamic outfit. You know, it was aimed at doing the Middle East. You know, hang on while this is playing, I'll look at it. I gotta go.
That's the first thing I thought of. Is just
People
a
say
copy of
weed
Iron
makes you
Eagle.
dumb, but the truth is more interesting. What if the people who smoke it are not slow at all, but deeply aware? Not because weed makes them smarter, but because of the kind of mind that's drawn to it. Many of them are not lazy. They are overthinkers, deep feelers, people whose minds rarely stay quiet and whose brains never shut off. And sometimes weed feels like a pause, a small moment of silence in a mind that never stops talking. Research suggests that cannabis users often score higher in openness to experience, a trait linked to creativity, curiosity, and deep thinking. So maybe they are not escaping reality. Maybe they are trying to see it differently. That is why small moments can feel bigger. Ideas can flow more freely, and the mind can connect things others never notice. But there is another side. The same mind that wants peace can begin to depend on that quiet, and that is the danger. Weed does not create intelligence. It simply lowers the noise, just enough for someone to finally hear how much is already inside them.
I believe that. All right. Oh shit. Hang on.
Somebody said it was Syria. That was the country they were going after an Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle.
Oh, Libya.
What?
Libya.
It just says in the thing when I looked it up, it said Iron Eagle follows teenager Doug Masters, whose Air Force pilot father is captured by a hostile state. With help from veteran pilot Chappie Sinclair, Doug undertakes Chappie Sinclair.
Chappie.
Doug undertakes a daring plan involving fighter jets to save him, blending 80s action, teen rebellion, and rock-fueled aerial sequences. It's an over-the-top, unrealistic, but entertaining guilty pleasure worth watching for nostalgic reasons. Anyway, here's real quick. If y'all want to see, I can show you the trailer for the movie Iron Eagle. If you're not familiar with this one, Chappie,
Lou Gossett Jr.
Yes, you got to watch it. It's a good one.
Doug Masters. He's 18 years old. Raised on an airbase.
Are you out of your mind?
Born to fly. Living for the day he'll earn his wings. Suddenly, just when life was going great.
Doug, it's your dad. He's been shot down.
Hey, buddy. Davis, hey, it's okay.
30 months.
Colonel, will you please just tell me what's going on?
Your country has been warned time and time again.
They claim a 200-mile limit. We only recognize 12. So when are they going in?
Reparation is our due.
Don't lie to me.
3 days. In 3 days, they're going to hang him.
When the Pentagon is helpless.
We're doing all.
Did you see that mullet? Did you see that fucking mullet? That was hot.
Welcome to the 80s.
Good. Ladies, try to control yourself there. You're watching. Okay.
I was in the transition period from the mullet to the rat tail.
Yes. Oh my god. I remember this time period. 86. Jesus Christ. 1986. Crap.
And Washington's hands are tied.
We make the laws in this country.
There's only one thing to do, and he'll do it with one of the toughest fighter pilots who ever lived, retired Colonel Chappie Sinclair.
You know, your dad understands a lot about people's dignity. That's the last kind of person in the world I want to see locked up in some stinking cage somewhere.
You think with the right plan, it'd be simple to go in and get him?
Probably.
What's going on? Look, I'm telling you right now, I bet you can get a plane. Bingo, we're in.
Are you wide enough to get me a couple of pilots, too?
I've got 3 times as many hours on that simulator as most pilots flying Falcons on this base right now.
I'll test you out on some live targets.
He may know how to fly. Now he must learn how to fight.
I want to concentrate.
Yeah! All right, we're going!
Everyone told them to sit tight and wait.
Heat up from here on out.
For them, waiting time is over.
Okay.
They're going in against the clock. In a pair of borrowed F-16s.
Jeffy, I hit it.
Now just worry about the pre-makes that get up. Climb!
Academy Award winner Louis Gossett Jr., Jason Gedrick, Iron Eagle.
Yes, the CGI background days.
The music, man, it was like hot right there. It was, hairband.
somebody in the comment, somebody said, D-Man, you had a rat tail? Yes, I did.
Oh, man.
Somebody else called it mullet maxing. That was if you went from the mullet to the rat tail. There we go. Rene Bernays said mullet maxing.
Let me see. Is this the right one? Hope I didn't miss something. Hold on. There. Oh, here you go. This is kind of cool. This isn't real long video, but this is pretty cool. Glad to see more people are focusing on this. It is about the medium. Okay, this is really interesting. Watch this.
Matter will rise, fall, or float depending on the relative density to the medium surrounding it. And this is true science. Gravity is a lie. Matter will rise, fall, or float depending on the relative density to the medium surrounding it. And this is true science. Gravity is... Matter will rise, fall, or float depending on the relative density to the medium surrounding it. And this is true science.
Yeah, you can also heat the top and the bottoms up and get those.
Yeah,
you can do all kinds of tricks.
Yes.
Change
Just
the temperature.
the relative density to the medium.
Show them the toy.
Yeah. I got the toy right
the toy.
Here. Oh man, shit. We'll get the toy out here in a bit. I thought that's a great little experiment right there. That is a great little experiment that you could show anytime. Done beautifully.
Yeah. Once you understand the medium, everything else is.
Yes. Yeah. And you got to get in your head. This is why outer space is nothing. There's no such thing as that. Okay, this is the deal. There is never an instance where you are not subject to a fluid medium. Okay? And it's your relative density to that fluid medium that's going to determine your place within it. It's real simple, man. It's real fucking simple.
We are in the space.
Yes. I mean, this, and it's just like we are perfectly suited for where we are, right? This is why when we start to go up higher, it's like, no, this is not where we're supposed to be. Now, you can adapt and live up in the mountains, but anywhere above like 10,000 feet, probably not recommended. Air is not good. Get tired real easy. And just like there's these fish that live down in these way down dark depths of the fucking ocean.
No light at
so
all.
Deep that these fucking things carry their own goddamn light, right? And they're down there. They're so deep. But if you try to bring them up to the surface, they die because they can't handle the lack of pressure. Same thing with us. Yeah. Phew!
Bless you.
Wow, sorry about that, folks. Jeez.
That happened to me the other day. I sneezed like 3 times in a row. I was like, wow, what happened?
I'm glad that's all that one was, man. For real. Oh, wait, was that that? It was. You gotta make sure. Oh, yeah, it must be. Okay. So then.
The highest town in the world is 16,732 feet in elevation. It's in Peru. It's on a mountain in Peru called La Rinconada, Peru.
What is it called?
La Rinconada.
Okay, and how high up is it?
16,732 feet.
That's as high as the top of Mount Whitney, at least. That's higher than the top of Mount Whitney. Mount Whitney's what, 15,000 something feet? I think. Let me look. Height of Mount Whitney. Oh, just hit the tab button.
Yeah, poured 8,300 feet above
14,000. Mount Whitney stands 14,505 feet, which is 4,421 meters in gay.
Oof. Oh yeah, 14,505. I see it.
Listen to that maniac.
He's getting ready to go out.
Yeah, that's Moon Shadow. She's a fucking velociraptor.
She identifies as one.
Oh my god. She's so rowdy. She gets so rowdy when it's time to go outside. She wants to fight with Peanut, and Peanut gets fighting back with her, and they get to biting each other, and she grabs Peanut by the back of the neck and shit. And sometimes you got to watch them because it'll start to get serious. But because Moon don't back down none. Peanut's, she's used to being the queen, but she's getting older, so Moon Shadow can pretty much kick her ass now. But anyway, they're females who they're fighting over who's the head bitch.
Yeah, wooden temperature is a bitch too. Same thing with our bodies and temperature. Can't go too high, can't go too low. Same thing with pressure. Can't go too high, can't go too low.
We're suited for where we are. We really are. Within reason, of course. Now we found ways to be able to live beyond those extremes and habitate beyond those extremes, but we have to take several precautions to make it like where we're at. You understand? Like, you have to have some kind of a fucking pressurized vessel of sorts. Yeah, and that, you know what I'm saying? So, like I say, we're suited for where we are, and just like those deep sea creatures, if you try to take them up to a surface level that's a lower pressure than what they need to exist, it'll kill them. So yeah, that's the same as taking you up to a high altitude where you can't fucking exist.
Just as an example,
you need the air pressure that we have in order to be able to breathe. Not just so that there's a specific volume of a mixture of gases to breathe, but you need it so that you can work your diaphragm muscles. It depends on the outside. People don't understand how a vacuum works. Okay.
Oh, real quick.
When you see the train car collapse in because they remove the medium from inside of it, they remove the air from inside of it, and it collapses. It didn't collapse because it got sucked in. It got pushed in from the outside air, wanting to be where there was a lack of it.
Yeah. I saw a story the other day about the last polio victim.
Oh yeah, that's why they have an iron lung, right?
That's right, because
Mhm.
they don't have the strength or the muscle control to
That's right.
to pull in and pull out. So that thing changes the pressure by squeezing your
Mhm.
entire body from the
Mhm.
and that's exactly what it does. It's the same thing.
Gives you the ability to breathe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I've had this guy's horrifying looking face up here. I swear to God, he does a great fucking Joker impersonation. But yeah, I like what he always says. Of course, I kind of liked a lot of the shit the Joker said too. So there's that. You know what I mean? Anyway,
I'm going to give it to you straight. If you don't think this Tyler Robinson thing is even a little bit fishy, your brain isn't working correctly. And I may seem radical, sure. But the fact of the matter is I have more common sense and reasoning skill than most of you. If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. So why are half the people calling it a goose? You could hide in a dark alley, shoot a random stranger walking down the street with zero motive, and they'd know who did it in a matter of hours. And you can bet your sweet ass that the case they put together against you is going to be airtight. So why is it that in a case set at a public event with more cameras and microphones rolling than probably anywhere else within a 100 square mile radius, are there so many holes in the story? If it doesn't make sense, it's because you're being lied to. It's like you don't want to believe it. And sure, it's far more comforting to just believe the propaganda, the media, the Fed's slop. He sent a text message, but somehow he was already in police custody. The casing didn't match. He disassembled the rifle on the roof and left the screwdriver up there, but reassembled the rifle in the woods. For what reason, I don't know. Oh, and everybody knows that the first thing you do after murdering somebody in cold blood is to text your entire manifesto to your boyfriend. I can think of another time where it should have been pretty cut and dry, but there were just as many questions as there were answers. Does JFK ring a bell? You're free to believe whatever slop you want, people. But my vote is real.
yeah, I don't know why. I don't know how the judge hasn't. I don't know how they haven't even just thrown out the case due to lack of evidence at this point. Have you kept up with any of it?
Yeah, slightly. They popped a couple of things out I was reading that popped up on the feed.
Yeah,
and it was, they were showing a picture of them and doing the standard Fox News crap, some kind of thing that they popped up about it.
I mean, if the judge ought to be asking the prosecution, it's like, what in the fuck do you really have? That is, I mean, I don't see where there's enough to even have brought charges on the guy. The evidence that they have, they were using YouTube videos, for Christ's sake. Or it was obviously altered videos and shit like that, and it's like circles and stuff around. Wait a second. What the fuck are we looking at here? So they use that as inadmissible. None of the shit matches. So what are we doing here? Look, here's what happened. Nobody shot Charlie Kirk, okay? Nobody shot him. He wasn't shot. There was no exploding microphone. There was a squib under his shirt. There was a blood pack. They were playing along with this fucking deal, okay? He was in on it. Don't forget about the book. Don't forget about the book that was out there. It was available on Amazon. You remember The Killing of Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
It said that he recovered from it and went on to tour campuses because he wasn't going to let that stop freedom of speech. Right? So I think that was the plan. And I think it was to further get, attention on him. Look, it was a miracle of God. He supports Israel. That's why he's alive today. God looked favorably on him, blah, 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 right? Okay, that's what I think the plan was initially. What I think is that the script changed once they got him in the SUV. Let's not forget, nobody had any blood on them from this event. Nobody had any blood on them. There was no blood trail.
Nope. As they were carrying him out like a sack of potatoes.
There was no bandaging put on his neck to stop bleeding or anything else like that. And what's worse is paramedics came up to them and tried to give them a trauma bag, and they refused it as they stuffed him in the fucking SUV and left. Now,
head first.
I think that they were going to go with the script that I said initially. And then what happened from there, I don't know. They either said, all right, look, we changed the script, you're gone. Okay. Or they actually gave him some kind of a shot and took him out. If that were true and they were going to have her weeping over his corpse, why would they be using fake arms of a fake
beef jerky?
Corpse? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. But I'm telling you that as far as there being a shooting of any kind or an assassination of any kind that was real on that campus, no. If there was an assassination of Charlie Kirk and he was truly killed and taken out of the picture, then I believe it happened after this fake event that I believe he was part of. I truly believe that. So,
as they carried him with his head dangling, as they carried him like you were carrying a sack of potatoes, threw him in the truck head first after he just got shot in the neck.
And I bet you'll find Mason fingerprints all over this fucking thing too.
You
know what I'm saying?
Fake. Do you think maybe do you think maybe they set that kid up like he would go and do something like that, but then he didn't do anything, and then they just
come on,
did something and then framed him?
Look, this is so poorly done. This is so poorly done. And it's almost as if it's obviously being done poorly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As far as building a case on this kid and everything, so many glitches in it, so much that just doesn't make any fucking sense that, it's like I said, a judge if this wasn't some kind of a scripted nonsense thing, then I think that a real judge would probably go, you know what? You don't even have enough for a case against this guy. At some point, I mean, and even if they go through with the whole thing, they go through with the trial and everything that they presented so far. And as far as I understand, this is just preliminary evidentiary hearing, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, like they do in the.
Okay. So this isn't even actually the trial.
Wow.
Okay, this is just, I guess, evidentiary hearings and preliminary.
Yeah. So they could throw it away. They could throw it out right there on the spot before it even gets to a full trial if they wanted.
Well, I don't even know how this even got to an indictment. What prosecutor in their right fucking mind took this flimsy ass goddamn evidence and brought it up to suit and brought charges on this guy? I mean, right off the bat, the fact that there's text messages that went out after the kid was already in custody. What? That right there is a red flag. And here's another one too. It's the FBI, right? Isn't that who the law enforcement agency that's been investigating this is the FBI, the DOJ, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have they ever, I don't know, been fraudulent in their practices before?
Oh, never.
No, shit.
You've always been clean. Are you kidding
very
me?
honest.
So, come
very
on.
honest. Legit. Fuck yeah. Bullshit. We know. Has our government ever pulled nonsense bullshit like this before? Yes.
Oh, but come on. So we've been winning a long time now.
Timothy McVeigh, right?
Greatest country on earth. Come on.
Fuck. Come on, man. I hear people say, what makes this? And I ask them, I say, well, what makes it so great? What's the definition of great? What do you mean? What's great mean? What does that mean? We're the greatest country ever. What's that mean? You get a different answer from everybody. It's all this ambiguity, man. People got a different idea in their head about everything, but they still think that they're all on the same page. That's why they rely on these fucking dodgy characters, I guess. The ones, I'm talking about? The usual cast of characters, you know? Oh, that's nice. Let's see, is that the one? Let me see. Gotta check. Oh, it is the same one. Okay. So I gotta go up to this one. And I'm gonna copy that one. See, I hate it when there's no thumbnail. Sucks. Let's see. Now we'll paste.
Yeah, it's always something. So they always get something brewing. I mean, I mentioned it before with the one in Boston I was reading. One of the show guys, local show guys up here, was mentioning it was some anniversary for when they busted that FBI guy in Boston, the Whitey Bulger FBI guy handler, was letting him go and friggin' kill people.
Yeah. That movie. There's a good. Who's in that movie? Did you ever see that movie with Johnny Depp plays him?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, dude, that's a good one. That's a good movie, man.
I grew up in that era when the Italian and Irish mobs were going at each other in the 80s in Boston. So
you want to see something crazy? You want to see something fucking crazy? Watch this. Watch this as a shapeshifter. And it's something about when he said praise God and it freaked it out. Watch.
This man hugged this lady and said praise God, and this is what happens. Now allegedly, if you reference anything religious to a shapeshifter, they cannot help but to change to their true form. This man hugged.
What the fuck? Did you see that shit?
Freaky.
This lady and said praise God, and this is what happened.
Hang on, I want to back that up. I want to see her face. Look at that. Look at that, dude.
It's like a skull.
Yeah. It's like morphed. That's fucking crazy. Watch this. Oh man, dude, that's fucking nuts. That's knuckin' futz. Oh.
Oh, Jolly Roger.
Let's see, which one is this one? Oh, Ben Volume. All right. Aha. How they condition people to follow a script. Are you ready for this, D-Man?
Absolutely.
We've got a lot of people who've joined us. We're up to 188 people over here on YouTube tonight. That's pretty cool.
Everybody?
And let's see, what are we at over here? We got 12 people watching over on Rumble. That's awesome as shit, too. And nobody's in the chat, though, on Rumble. I don't know why that is.
That's okay.
I got to get my phone, too. So
that's okay. Lurking's allowed.
What's that?
I said, that's okay. Lurking's allowed. It's
Lurking
okay.
is allowed, 100%. Listen, there's a lot of people who watch this show later on repeat. And,
sometimes I listen to it and I don't watch it. Sometimes I just listen to it because I can't interact because I'm driving or I'm somewhere else.
Right.
So sometimes if I'm not here, I'm actually listening. I just can't touch the phone or anything. I can't fool with it while I'm driving. It's against the law.
All right, check this out.
The real matrix is conditioning. It's made of invisible mental code, written through repetition, fear, and social reward. From the moment we're born, our brains are programmed to seek approval, follow rules, and avoid discomfort.
Do you think you are free? From the moment you are born, everything you do is observed. Every click, every purchase, every conversation. The government and large corporations know everything about you, more than you imagine. And while you think you're choosing, in reality, you've already been directed.
Do you know that the average person does not think? Do you know that thinking is a subject that's not taught in school? You say everybody thinks. Hardly anyone thinks. Do you know what we do? We confuse mental activity with thinking. That's not thinking. Listen to what most people are saying. They'd never say what they're saying if they were thinking. Watch their behavior. They'd never do what they were doing if they were thinking. We become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. Well, you see, that's probably what the people were doing that we surrounded by as we were little kids. And the ideas that just keep going in over and over and over again form the paradigm. A paradigm is nothing but a multitude of ideas that are fixed in the subconscious mind. And so here we are, as hard as it is to believe, 20, 30, 50, 60 years later, living exactly the same as we were programmed when we were little kids.
The most effective way to enslave a population isn't to keep them on chains. It is to give them a choice. You see, a dictator is obvious. You can see the cage. To rule a people, you don't need force. You need an invisible government. They don't tell you what to do. They suggest what you should want. They take your primal, irrational desires and mirror them back to you until your thoughts are no longer your own. You think you chose that brand. You think you chose that leader. You believe you are the architect of your own life. That's the secret. They have mastered the silent engineering of consent. If they can make you want exactly what they need you to want, you aren't a victim anymore. You are a participant. The ultimate form of control isn't making the prisoner obey. It's making the prisoner fall in love with their own conditioning.
From the moment you're born, you're taught what normal is. Go to school, get a job, buy things you don't need, follow rules you never questioned, live a life that feels safe but empty. Everyone around you does the same, so you assume it must be right. But the truth is, normal was created to keep society predictable. Predictable people don't question. Predictable people don't change the world. And that's how the Matrix wins, not through control, but through routine. You don't even realize you're following a program until you stop for a moment and ask yourself one simple question. Who decided this was the way life should be?
Just because something has been normalized by society doesn't mean it's actually right. We accept things because everyone else does. We follow rules no one questioned. We live by standards that were handed to us before we could think for ourselves. And we assume that if most people do it, it must be okay. Most of what society accepts isn't based on what's right. It's based on what's convenient, what keeps things running, what doesn't challenge the people in power. So stop using "that's just how it is" as a reason to accept things. Question what you've been taught. Challenge what everyone agrees on. Think for yourself. Remember that.
Mom, why aren't women allowed at the stonings? Because it's written, that's why. I wanted to also thank William Householder for his donation on Cash App. Very, very
Thanks,
generous.
William.
Thank you so much, sir. Much appreciated. And we get other donors that are in here all the time, too.
Cookie said
Godzilla.
hello. Cookie said
Who?
hello, by the way, in the chat.
Where the
Ryan
fuck
S.
is Cookie? Where is Ryan Cookie Monster?
I seen him.
He's just an old bastard. He don't never come on the show no more. He's afraid to click that link. He got himself some girl, probably. He got himself some girlfriend or some shit. I bet you. That's what's going on. You know what? Should we put out the bat signal?
Uh-oh. Last night he didn't even need it. He was
I
popped up.
know. I know.
I think telepathy. I think he
It
knew that
was.
someone was speaking about him. But somebody's speaking of me.
I could, yeah. His ears start itching. His ears, they start itching. I bet you that's what happens.
This snowman.
What is it? Snowman?
This is the thing he said. Where's Snowman?
I don't know. He popped.
He was out yesterday for a little while. He sounded a little, I don't know, agitated.
Drunk?
Come on for a little bit, and then he was out in the street somewhere. And you asked him, like, why are you on the street? What are you doing?
Well, I know you gotta wonder sometimes, you know. Sometimes he's outside, sometimes he's in a room, sometimes he's like in a breezeway or something. I don't know. And I just wonder where he's at. It's like I've kind of like got a map in my head of all the places, you know. But he seems to roam the streets a lot, you know. Snowman does. I mean, I'm not saying that in a derogatory sense or anything, or mean that. Maybe roam isn't the right term to use. He walks about a lot.
Jesse just says he's a hooker. Don't say that.
He's a street prostitute. Yeah, see now. The term hooker, do you know where that came from?
Yeah, it came from some guy. You mentioned it before, and I looked it up, and it was some old dude, some old guy from the 1800s or something.
He was a Union Army general. It was General Joseph E. Hooker. Okay. And he was what it was, the Army regulation was that people were not allowed, like soldiers were not allowed to leave camp without a pass. Okay. And visiting prostitutes would put you in the stockade. Okay. That was against Army regulations. Well, Joseph Hooker realized that there was a way to make money off of that. So he would allow passes for these guys to go down to the prostitute camps, and the prostitutes paid a certain percentage in order for him to allow this arrangement to him.
He's a pimp.
So he was pimping, right? So they got to be known as hookers girls, and later on used as a term to describe any prostitute. A little bit of Civil War history. That's right.
There you go.
Do you know the word deadline? Did you know that where the word deadline comes from?
No.
It also comes from that. The POW camps, they'd have a line drawn around the camp. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you were to cross that line,
it's a deadline.
they could shoot you.
Yeah.
Okay, for trying to escape. So that was known as the deadline. So you didn't cross the deadline. More Civil War history. The more you know, knowledge is power. Somebody might call you from a fucking radio station and ask you about that. You'll know it, and you'll win the tickets to see Journey or whoever. Wow, I'm really dating myself, ain't I? Who is it the kids are listening to?
You freaks.
Listen to that goddamn Alice Cooper on their 8-track music machines.
I want to point my pipe at you as I talk to you. Put my glasses down a little bit.
Okay, so here, Oregon, guy in Oregon, he got sent to fucking jail, convicted and sent to jail for collecting rainwater, dude.
Oregon man was convicted and sent to jail for collecting and using rainwater on his own property, sued by the state for theft. Rancher Gary Harrington built 3 large reservoirs on his own land to collect rainwater and snow melt. He claimed the water was primarily for fire protection reserves and for providing water to wildlife. But the state called it theft and prosecuted Gary. A municipal code stipulates that all water within city limits, including precipitation, is part of the public water supply. The city requested the court order the removal of his collection system and impose a fine. Despite Harrington's repeated appeals, arguing, "The water fell on my land, I'm not selling it. I'm simply using it on my own property." The court ultimately rejected his claims. Harrington was found guilty on multiple charges, including unlawful appropriation of state water resources. He was sentenced to 30 days in jail and fined over $1,500. The incident sparked intense backlash. Residents said it was simply tyranny. If a person cannot own the rain that falls on their land, what do they actually own?
Hey, wakey.
That's a pretty good question, man.
Anybody wake up yet?
You know what? The little shit down here at the bottom of the screen that shows me all my stuff is gone. I can't see it. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened to it. It's gonna fuck me up, man.
I don't know how they could own. That's like saying, That's like saying, oh, you have to pay for air.
I know. That's stupid.
It's like, oh, sorry, but you have to pay an air tax.
Who says, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. What the hell is happening down here?
Be like,
you know how down at the bottom of the screen you're supposed to have like little icons that show you everything you have open? Oh wait. There it is there. How do I get that to be open?
Do you have it in full screen?
Yeah.
Do you have the main screen?
Never mind.
Right.
I got it back. Okay, never mind. I got it back.
I mean, next thing you know, they're going to be saying, oh, what do you mean you don't have a walking license?
Yeah, right. I know. God. Well, that movie, The Humanity Bureau, man, I'm like, we are so close to that, man.
Sorry, sir. You were
really
jogging.
close to that.
Sorry, sir. You were jogging. You need an additional jogging permit.
Do you have a jogging? Did you pay your jogging license?
Yes, is a
Do you
jogging
have
feet.
approved jogging? Do you have approved jogging safety wear on? And have you
Flashing
taken?
light
Yeah,
and oh,
you
that's a
have to,
ticket.
you have to take a state approved course on what the fuck, man?
Sorry, sir, but you don't have the state approved jogging equipment like reflectors and a helmet, and we're gonna have to issue a ticket. Get on the ground now. So it's gonna be like everyone will love it.
What is that? Hold on.
I'll be dead by then. It won't matter.
I don't know.
I'll be
man.
long gone by then. Unless I start it in 3 weeks from now. I'm just kidding.
In the way shit is going, and it's going so fucking fast.
Yeah.
Like I showed that video the other night of how fast those flock cameras have gone up every fucking place, man.
Well, they're probably employing thousands of people to put those things up 24 hours a day. They probably got 3 shifts going to get those
fucking
up as
sellouts.
quick as they can. Yep.
The people know what those are. Those people installing those, I don't give a fuck. It is. I'm just doing my job, motherfucker. You're a sellout to humanity, right there.
They'll every single person, they'll give them a detail and have a guy sit there with a car, and they'll put road cones out, and some guy will stand there and wave a flashlight, or just sit there with the lights on and get a detail money from that. Everybody's there to make theirs from it, and that's kind of how it is. I mean, I saw it working for the state, some of the stuff that was ridiculous, and I was just like, oh my god, this is some of the jobs they gave people to do things that were just totally, this guy's cousin's uncle's brother who's got this job sitting in a chair, half asleep, sorting things, It's like, wow, okay.
Well, it's like when the war broke out, right? And they weaponized all the factories, right? We had to put in a national effort for arms because we were in this war. And when they did that, you see, these factories had government contracts, so they retooled for armament, planes, tanks,
cars,
jeeps.
trucks.
Here's an interesting thing. You won't find a car made during the war. I mean, you won't find there was no new models of cars available. There was no car production between 1942 and 1945.
There was even restrictions on the colors that you could get.
Well, yeah, you had to buy what was available.
Yeah.
There was no new cars being made. And parts, well, you better hope there's some in stock or there's some at the junkyard because everything was retooled over, or maybe there was a dye shop somewhere that might have something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was, tires. You had to have rations. They had ration stamps for tires because rubber was hard to get because of the Russian or the German U-boats.
Yeah.
So anyway, what they were doing is they were paying a certain percentage over cost. That's how they maintained profit, right?
Yeah.
So they got a percentage over cost. Well, it doesn't take an idiot to figure out that if you increase your cost, you can increase the percentage, right?
Yep.
So they were like hiring everybody that was available. That ain't no shit. It was so bad. There was this one guy, I remember he was my grandfather's friend. He was talking about where he hired in as a pipe fitter at this factory, and man, they were just hiring everybody. And the guy says, "Well, here you go." He says, "Here's your tools," and they said, just kind of, get yourself familiar with the factory and where everything's at and everything, and then we'll get you started. And he said, "Okay." So he starts walking places, and checking out the place. Well, he's doing this for a few days, and everywhere he goes, there's this guy following him, and he notices it's like the same guy. Now, you got to also understand, everybody was a heightened They were at a heightened state of alert because of Nazis and Japs.
Loose lips sink
Oh,
ships.
yeah. There's spies every fucking place, right? So this guy noticed this guy and was following him everywhere. So he went around the corner and he waited. And when this guy came around the corner, he grabbed him up by the scruff. He took his wrench. He had a pipe wrench in his hand, put him up against the wall. And he says, "All right, who the fuck are you?" And the guy says, "Whoa." He says, "I'm your helper, man. What the fuck?" He didn't know, man. That's how it was. They were just hiring everybody. God,
Yeah,
everybody.
never introduced himself.
Right. There was no need. Just get in there, do that. We don't care. You're just a number. We're just paying you. We don't give a fuck if you actually do anything.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Follow
how.
him. Follow him. Okay.
And because most able-bodied men of working age were now being drafted or have inducted into the Army and the Marines, Navy, what have you, and volunteering as well, that left only the 4Fs and the women. So women were now entering the workforce. If this was a new thing, women, well, not really new, but I mean, nationwide, it was really advertised as a liberation movement. When in reality, if you think about it, during wartime, in the Civil War, if indeed that was real, and World War I, women did a lot of work there. Who do you think was making ammunition at home while the men were off?
Yeah.
Did you know that those little Smarties, the candies I'm talking about, they come up, they're all different colors and shit. Did you know that those came from ammunition? Well, okay, so there was a little dye that they used that would mash the gunpowder into a little pill. And that's what they used to make Smarties, is that same fucking dye that they used for that during
Charms. Remember
from
Charms?
World War One.
Yeah, Charms was like that jelly candy.
Yeah.
It's like little cubes.
But you know the stuff I'm talking about, the chalky,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah, I
chalky,
know what you're talking about.
sour Smarties, I guess they call them.
Yeah, they were like little
Yeah.
things you put in your mouth and dissolve.
I got Skittles flavored icy pops in the freezer. I might grab one. Yeah, I was like, come on, let's get some frozen fucking chemicals and see what those do to me.
What's the weather there? Is it real hot? It was hot Friday.
No, actually, it's kind of it's been rainy. It's in the 70s, so it's kind of cooled out. I don't know what it's going to happen for the next couple of days. We were last I heard, we were supposed to go back to work Monday, but the weather has not been playing nice with us.
Supposed to be mid-90s here on Tuesday. It's going to be real humid too. It's going to rain the day before, and then it's going to be then the next time the sun comes up, it's going to be like 96.
Trusty dusty,
real hot.
Oh, it's going to be rainy as fuck tomorrow. It says for a little bit.
It's going to be
39% thunderstorms, rainy up through the evening. Monday shows. Let's see what they got. I don't know. It's liable to change by the fucking day.
Taste the rainbow.
I mean, do you know it is like pretty much now? All right, this is for real. Outside of like social media where bots will come and argue with you and whatnot, if you go out in the world and you say, that they manipulate the weather, man, they control the weather. You see this, that, and the other. You won't get any flack.
Yeah.
You don't get any flack. People are onto it. This is kind of crazy. It says that this video is 10 years old and has never been more relevant than it is today. So I wanted to play this.
Hello. My name is Montague William III, and what I will tell you may well sound absurd, but the less who believe it, the better for me. For you see, I'm in banking and big industry. For many a year we have controlled your lives, while you all just struggle and suffer in strife. We created the things that you don't really need, your sports cars and fashions and plasma TVs. I remember it clearly how all this begun. Family secrets from father to son, inherited knowledge that gives me the edge, while you people lie sleeping at night in your beds. We control the money that controls your lives, whilst you worship false idols and wouldn't think twice about selling your souls for a place in the sun. These things that won't matter when your time is done. But as long as they're there to control the masses, I just sit back and consider my assets, safe in the knowledge that I have it all, while you common people are losing your jobs. You see, I just hold you in utter contempt. But the smile on my face, well, it makes me exempt. For I have the weapon of global TV, which gives us connection and invites empathy. You would really believe that we look out for you, while we bankers and brokers are only a few. But if you saw that, you'd take back the power. Hence, daily terrors to make you all cower. The panics, the crashes, the wars, and the illness that keep you from finding your spiritual wholeness. We rig the game, and we buy out both sides to keep you enslaved in your pitiful lives. So, go out and work as your body clock fades. And when it's all over, a few years from the grave, you'll look back on all this, and just then you'll see that your life was nothing, a mere fantasy. There are very few things that we don't now control. To have lawyers and police force was always a goal, doing our bidding while you march on the street. But they never realize that they're only just sheep. For real power resides in the hands of a few. You voted for parties. What more could you do? But what you don't know is they're one and the same. Old Gordon has passed good old David the reins, and you'll follow the leader who was put there by you. But your blood, it runs red, while our blood runs blue. But you simply don't see it's all part of the game. Another distraction, like money and fame. Get ready for wars in the name of the free, vaccinations for illness that will never be, the assault on your children's impressionable minds, and a microchipped world. You'll put up no fight. Information suppression will keep you in tone. Depopulation of peasants was always our goal. But eugenics was not what we hoped it would be. Oh yes, it was us that funded Nazis. But as long as we own all the media too, what's really happening does not concern you. So just go on watching your plasma TV, and the world will be run by the ones you can't see.
Pretty wild.
What the fuck, man? That was not an actor. That was Satan. You don't know, right? It could be Satan. It could have really been Satan. I mean, I'm no expert or nothing. I'm just saying. seems kind of satanic in his endeavors. Wouldn't you say that they're self-serving?
Of course, it's all about them. If you get yours,
and at the expense of others.
Yeah. Some people are that way. Some people don't care.
Vampire, like a vampire.
I mean, some people it's an energy thing too. Some people they get a juice off of people, treating them like shit, or getting people in certain states. They get their rocks off on it. Everybody knows something like that.
I think it's time for pitchforks and torches, bro.
Some people are just that way, man.
We need to get rid of those people. Put them on an island altogether.
There you go. Yeah, and let them all manipulate the other manipulators.
Isn't that what Israel was supposed to be? But then they got their tentacles out there every place else. What the fuck is up with them people? God damn it. So they gave a cease and desist. Flock sent a cease and desist order to somebody. Check this out.
Did Flock really just deliver the dumbest cease and desist letter ever?
We have received a cease and desist order from Flock Legal Safety Affairs. Fuck you, Peter Thiel. Fuck you, Larry Ellison.
Wait, don't forget Garrett Langley.
Our goal isn't just to solve crime. Our goal is to eliminate crime. The way you eliminate it is make it harder to do.
I do not give a shit.
Me neither.
Any false or fake news post pertaining to Flock cameras or CEO major shareholders will result in legal action. Sincerely, Flock Group, Dan Haley, head of legal affairs.
Meet Noah. He runs a sizable Instagram page where he made some memes and very sticky stickers. By commenting "fuck Flock" on his posts, his followers could earn one of the very sticky stickers, which Noah specifically instructed them not to put on Flock's license plate readers.
I then decided to go start making hats that block your face from facial recognition.
Not gonna lie, that's exceptionally based and I want one. But let's dig into this letter a bit. First, it gives his name and address, but then says, to whom it may concern. That's BS. They know exactly who it concerns. Then it goes into rude and unusual, which sounds like an attempt to invoke the 8th Amendment, which has everything to do with how government treats prisoners and nothing to do with how the public treats mass surveillance companies. Then there's the issue of Dan Haley's title, which is Chief Legal Officer, but the letter says Head of Legal Affairs Division, which isn't completely impossible, but unlikely. And of course, the threat isn't prosecution, but persecution, which is an insanely ironic autocorrect in this context. So yeah, it might be fake or it might be the most inert cease and desist ever created. Your call. Either way, I followed him.
We still have fuck Flock stickers. Go get them if you want them. Rock and roll.
People fucking throwing down about them goddamn things, man. They're not liking it none whatsoever, bro. None. You picking up what I'm laying down, G? Right? Hey, we got this is pretty cool too. This is a stupid cop. He's always addicted to. What do you think this cop's addicted to? That's right, ID.
Do you have any ID on you, sir?
I don't answer questions.
I'm sorry?
I don't answer questions.
You don't answer questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
Is it a consensual conversation? Is this a consensual conversation?
Well, I'm asking you for a reason. Do you have an ID on you?
You suspect me of committing a crime?
No, I suspect you of something else. Can you show me your ID, please?
Unless you suspect me of committing a crime.
Do you have ID on you, yes or no?
Texas Penal Code 3002 says I have to be lawfully arrested to show you ID unless you suspect me of a crime.
Do you have any ID on you, sir?
That's it. You don't have to give these motherfuckers ID. No, you don't. You have to, unless they can give you reasonable, articulatable suspicion that you are committing a crime, have committed a crime, or are about to commit a crime. No. I don't have to tell you nothing. You can bite my butthole. Well, you don't have to say that to them because you might make them mad, but you know what? Maybe they need that sometimes. Okay. So this is kind of interesting here. This is Trump quote without his face or voice. Trump without Trump. This is quote. It's unedited, 100% accurate. Okay, from the G7 summit back here, June 17th. This is fucking crazy. You got to think about this. This guy is out there in the public. How do you train? And you got to think about this. He's at a G7 summit, D-man, which means he's going to have that translated, right? That's whatever he says is translated into these various languages of the countries that are there at the G7 who, you know, and I wonder what that shit sounds like translated, you know? Run it through, you know, I bet you it's all fucking word salad.
Probably.
I mean, it's crazy. Listen to this.
It's Trump without Trump. You won't have to listen to his voice or see his face. This quote is unedited and 100% accurate. This is from the G7 summit on June 17th, 2026. These are the words of the President of the United States of America. For those not in the construction business, granite, being a very strong, the strongest stone, it's not as pretty as marble, but it's much more. It's much stronger. It's a lot stronger. Like the new granite I put on the stairs of the White House, going to the Oval Office, the black granite, it's rated 1 million years plus. No marble's rated that. Marble is rated 100 years if it's outside. So these are granite mountains. And the B-2s came along and they hit those air shafts in the dark at 1 a.m. with no moon. They had a beam going right up, and those guys did a job. And then they were criticized by certain members of the press like CNN for possibly not doing that much damage. And it turned out that the damage was far greater. Those mountains collapsed right on top of everything. Nobody's going to get that for a long time unless we want to get it. We will get it, but we're the only ones that can. And they say China has the equipment to get it, and we have the equipment to get it. And it's actually not valuable, not a lot of value, but would like to get it psychologically, but nobody's touching it. We also have cameras. That's what Space Force is. We have the best. We have the greatest military in the world, by the way. But I'm proud of Space Force because I started it. We have Space Force cameras on every single door. Well, there are no doors. They've been pretty much well shattered. But every area of that, if somebody walks in and he's got a badge with his name on it, like Mohammed, something which is about a 50-50 guess, Mohammed something, they can tell the name. They can give you a serial number. We see things you wouldn't believe. The quality of the stuff that we have is why we've been so successful. Donald J. Trump.
Wow. Just totally wow.
Nobody knows granite like me. I listen.
What in the fuck? If you really, I mean, that's what he said. And it's like, what the fuck? Now, translate that over into like Turkish.
Swahili translation.
Yeah, so people are going, well, here's what the American president said. And it's like, what? God damn. See, and this is what the guy is, and I've been thinking this a lot here. Symbolism over substance. Okay. He doesn't want to fix these problems. He wants to cover them up. He wants to dress everything up. You know what I'm saying? This is why he wants to glue shit on the wall in the Oval Office and in the White House and stuff and put all this gold filigree everywhere. It's symbolism over substance. You know? It's all glitz and glamour, which brings you to your big Qatari fucking aircraft. I wonder why he didn't fly that back after Iran has been making these threats against him. Now, Do you think that Iran genuinely does have a fucking hit out on Donald Trump?
I mean,
What do
I
you
don't
think?
know. I don't have a clue. I mean, they
I
did
mean,
kill
we
his
did
lead. They
target,
did kill the leader.
we targeted their leaders, didn't we? Or the
So
United
definitely
States
pissed them
military
off.
did. Yeah.
We killed possibly his family too. I think that same strike, I think, killed
Yeah.
a few of his family members also.
Yeah.
So I mean, naturally, somebody comes and fucks with you. Are you gonna be all peaceful and happy?
Right.
So I mean, don't that's the way I kind of look at it. Like somebody's gonna fuck with you. What do you expect?
Exactly.
Is them to get pissed off and
And for what? And for what? What did Iran do to deserve any of that? Any of that? What was the reason that they were attacked?
Well, because they could potentially get because they can't get a nuclear bomb. That's what they said.
Who says that?
Donald Trump and Israel.
Well, who is he? He's not the president of Iran.
He's the president of the world. So come
No,
on,
no.
Donald Trump is it's America.
No.
Fuck yeah.
See, there's the problem right there. Wait a second. What gives you the right to intervene in the affairs of a sovereign country? What gives you the where does that come from? You're the president of what? The United States. Where's that's here. That's over here. That's like Ohio and right, Florida and Kansas and Virginia and Texas, all those. You know that you're familiar with it.
Yeah.
Amber waves of grain and shit. You're not the president of Iran. You don't get to tell other countries what they can and cannot have.
Well, they wouldn't agree with him, so he had to do it to protect us all.
I've never once felt threatened by Iran. And during this whole conflict, I've been pretty much on Iran's side. I'm cheering them on. I'm like, yeah, good for you. Fuck that. Look, that whole Islamic revolution that took place threw off the chains of Western influence in Iran. 100%. They understood that the bulldog was the United States. And that's why they held those hostages until they guaranteed that there would be no Western reprisal for the revolution that took place. And it was their right. It even says in our Constitution, in our Declaration of Independence and shit, that when a government becomes so bad that you got to throw it away, you got to get rid of it, right? So, what the fuck? That's what they did. And why did they do it? Why was there an Islamic revolution? Why did that take place over there? Well, it was because of how westernized it was becoming.
Yeah, all the smut. And,
there was there was porno theaters all over the place, prostitution, narcotics. There was bars every fucking place. And it was destroying their culture. Kind of like Berlin. Tehran was becoming a bit like Berlin was in 1933. Let's be real. So, what's the common factor? I wonder.
Not allowing them to come in and do all that stuff.
Right.
You accepting
it. And the main reason that they were there, the colonialists were there. The main reason that the colonialists were there with their puppet Shah that they placed in there. See, the previous ruler of Iran, what was his name? Mogaddesh? That guy, he had nationalized the oil, right? Which was against the interests of the oil companies that wanted to establish the rights to wells and shit there in Iran. Okay, so the CIA backed a coup basically against this guy, got him out, and placed their puppet, this other fucking bird. I remember him, had weird hair. Anyway, they put him in charge, the Shah of Iran, and he was everybody knew he was just a Western puppet. And they were like, okay, we've had enough of this. So Islamic extremists that were sick of this Western influence took over their fucking government, threw the Shah out, and held hostages in the American embassy to guarantee there would be no American reprisal for their right to revolt against this regime that they were under. And, well, they kind of worked out a deal, and we've hated Israel Iran ever since. And yes, they do say death to America. They do say that we're the great Satan. And what that means is different than what you think. To them, Shaitan, the great Satan. What is the great Satan? It means a great nemesis, a great enemy. And do our values kind of reflect a satanic value? Yes. We'd like to think, oh, we're a good Christian nation, but we're not. Not at all. Not at all. Look what we do to other countries. It's fucked up. Look what we do to other people in other places because we want their shit.
Yeah. Or
for whatever else, you know?
But they just don't want to. They just don't want to do what we want them to do. So it's that influence. Oh well, well here, just be our friend. Here, take it. Here, we'll pay you. Take this, and oh well, we did that for you. It's that kind of shit. It's slimy. I don't blame them for not wanting nothing to do with it. But hey, if that's for the reports their religion, well, hey, that's what coexist. Coexist.
Well, yeah, look, man. This is the first thing you got to kind of get about yourself and about others. Everything is a reflection. People have to understand first, everything is a reflection. And it comes right even down to why you admire or like some people and dislike or hate others. And it's due to reflections that you see. You see a possibility that could be in yourself that you would detest, or that you wish that you had, that you admire, or that, you know what I'm saying? It's based all on perception. And people have to understand that each and every one of us is a unique expression of the infinite possibility. Every one of us, a unique expression of the infinite possibility, because you have to think of all the variables that makes up you, not just physically, but spiritually. So once we accept that we are all different and not just by race or ethnicity, that's just dumb. Those are just meat suits, okay? Everybody's got to have a fucking meat suit to operate on this little level here that we're at, okay? So here's my meat suit. This is like my car. This is my vehicle. Is this me? No. Can it be a reflection of me? Perhaps symbolically, but ultimately, I am my consciousness. My consciousness is what makes me. And my consciousness is unique. Everyone has a unique consciousness, but the same. We resonate together. For instance, most of the people that are here, all my old time people that are here tonight, right now, and are here damn near every night. Look at, there's Roger too, Kim Ray. We got all these people, they always show up. It's because we all kind of vibe on the same level. There's a vibratory level. It works even better when we're in person. But obviously we're able to vibe out through the video and convey the meaning and passion behind what we're saying which kind of also reveals what is more true and what is not. You know, where we break down these lies, man. Look at this, man. It's so diabolical. Under the guise of being something beneficial, by decree of the king, all peasants must send their offspring by the age of 5 to an institution of government approval to be educated. And we think that's a good thing. They paste that out there as a good thing, but is it? No, it's not. It's not. It's conditioning. It's teaching rules of society. And who molds that? Well, not you. I think people can be taught to act decent and get along with others without having to be institutionalized. Have to raise your hand to ask a question, special piece of paper to go take a dump. What the fuck, man? Not even interested in this shit because it ain't about teaching you nothing. It really isn't. Think about it. Everything we tell you here right now, it's because I was once educated and it took me years to get over it. So now what do? We question where we are, who we are, when we are, why we are. We think outside the box, outside the cube. That's where I want to be. How about you?
Where I've always been.
Hell yeah.
Never been anywhere else. I mean, you got to dive in and out of it sometimes, but I never stay in it. You know, I know what it is, so I'm smart. You know, I figured that out real early that, oh, okay, I got it. So I got to do this crap, and this is what I have to do. Okay. But then as soon as I don't have to do it, I'm like, all right, see ya.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's always been.
Yeah, it's... I always looked at school as such a waste of fucking time. And it drove me nuts. And as soon as I found out I could get the fuck out of that shit, I did. I just went, wow, thank you. I'm out. People say, well, what about you want to go to college? You should go to college. Oh, hold on a minute, man. Why would I want to go to college? Well, you can get a degree. And I'm like, dude, we just came from a building where the people that ran it had degrees. Do you think that they were smart people? Well, no. All right. See my point? So why would I go pay money for more fucking prison? That's stupid, man. I didn't want to do it. I was like, there's no need to do that.
Just to make you a taxpayer. That's all
You
it
know?
is. It's taxpayer
Look,
training.
all you're doing is buying a piece of paper. Okay? Because like I've said probably a million times on here, a degree is only as good as the stupidest fucking person that has one. That's it. Just because you got a degree, don't tell me shit about nothing about you. You bought a piece of paper. Cool. You're probably in debt too from it. You know, that's all it tells me. It doesn't tell me you're smart. And at the very least, all it tells me is that you're a good test taker. Okay. Which is nothing more than regurgitating information back to someone the way it was given to you. And then they tell you you're smart for doing that. Well, you're not. A minor bird can do that shit. Okay. A parrot can repeat stuff, So this is why we got all these idiots. I can't believe nobody says, well, why? They say, well, mass attracts mass. Why? What do you mean, why? Well, why? How do you come to that conclusion? What do they always jump to? Oh, Cavendish. Well, it doesn't prove attraction. It just demonstrates movement. Prove that the movement is due to attraction. Ah, now we got something different. You can't. So that's dumb. They just believe that. It's a monkey trick. It's because the world's been the world of science, actual science, has been taken over by pig-headed fucking monkeyologists. That's it, man. Pig-headed monkeyologists. Down with them. Trust the science. Remember that? Remember that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Trust the science. Right now, what's going on? So what's science showing us now? Science is showing us with these creepy fucking things growing in their goddamn blood vessels and shit, man. What's up?
Nanotech. Even nanotech. Nanotech and a lot of that. People took that stuff and put it under a microscope and found all kinds of structure shit inside of it too.
Dude, I didn't let them listen. I don't like the idea of getting a fucking injection in the first goddamn place, okay? That's what snakes do to you. Okay, I don't know. That's where my brain always goes with the idea of getting a fucking shot. That's what snakes do. And there's snakes on the door of the place where they give you that fucking shit. And I guarantee you somewhere, even if they're giving you a donut for getting the shot in a parking lot someplace, somewhere on the boxes or somewhere, there's going to be them snakes. I'm telling you right now, it's not natural to have shit injected into your fucking body. Unless it's, to kill you. And that's what fucking snakes do. Gila monsters. And now people are using goddamn Gila monster venom to lose weight. The fat shot. That's Gila monster venom, people. Don't take that Ozempic bullshit. That, what do they call it? What is they give it there's another name for it.
Bird bone disease.
No, have you seen Kelly Osbourne?
Yeah, she's like a skeleton.
Yeah,
I mentioned that to you a while ago. I watched the when Ozzy died and they had that procession thing. And
she's even worse now. She looks like they rolled her up out of Auschwitz or something.
Yeah. Like it's like they have bird bones now. It's like they look like they're ready to super frail. It's like, man, but I don't know. Some people like that crackhead look. I don't know.
But yeah, I mean, can you believe that people? Well, here I thought it's really absurd. Anyways, what's that these women, and you see a lot of these Mar-a-Lago women doing this, right? What is that they get injected into them?
Botox.
Botox. What actually is Botox? Botulism toxin. That's right. Botulism. Basically food poisoning. So they're giving them an infection in their lips to swell them up, to make them look like that bizarre shit. They look like right out of that, like out of some kind of a Muppet movie or something, don't they? You remember the woman in the band on the Muppets?
Yeah.
They start looking like her.
Yeah. The giant where like her whole head's a lip.
Like all mouth or something. All right, let's see if you got a gag reflex now. They're doing plastic surgery on them. See if they can.
Oh, have you ever seen some of those people that are like addicted to plastic surgery and you see their face and it's all the cat lady one and those male twins
that one cat lady woman died, I think.
Yeah, a while ago. And she was really good looking. And I never understood why that woman did all that crap. She looked way worse every time she got something done. It's like it must be some kind of thing inside of them in their brain that they think, I don't know. But she looked really good before she got all.
She did really look a lot like a cat, though.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. Do you think she could lick herself?
I don't think she could do much of anything. That face, you probably don't feel a thing. With all that shit in her face. I mean, they do all kinds of shit. They cut the top of your hairline and pull your whole face skin up.
Look.
They do all kinds of shit.
I really, really, really don't want somebody cutting into me. I really don't want that. I got like the heebie-jeebie shits about like invasive shit into my body. I really do like that. I don't want.
Look at Janine Pirro. You know, it was Janine Pirro from Fox
God,
News.
yeah.
She's probably got like 25 surgeries because her.
You remember the
look at her
Land
from
of
5 years ago.
Confusion? You remember Land of Confusion video?
Yeah, yeah. Like
They start
Muppets.
looking like them puppets in that video, man.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that video. I posted it on Facebook the other day. That I said it's still relevant. You remember? You know the song I'm talking about by Genesis? Yeah. See, I'm really dating myself. Yeah. Back when I had MTV, it stood for music television. That's right. They showed music videos. What? Yeah. It wasn't about teenage pregnancies back then. Yeah.
Uncle Milty was on the Rat videos.
Yeah, I remember that.
Round and round.
DMC. Wasn't it Run DMC?
Yeah, I think. Well, no, he was on for the ones from Rat, the like metal band. I don't know if we call him metal, but
Oh yeah, well sure he
Rat.
would be. They used to have
Round
some
and
pretty
round.
hot babes in those videos, man.
Yeah,
Some
like
real hot
Tawny
babes.
Katane or
Fuck yeah. She was married to David Coverdale.
yeah from Rat
from Whitesnake.
Whitesnake. And
Whitesnake.
he was in another band before that. Wasn't Deep Purple? Oh, might
Dude,
have been.
I went to a Whitesnake concert and Great White opened up for him.
Wow.
And there were so many hot chicks
Oh,
at
of course.
this thing. Oh my God, man. It was unreal. It was unreal.
Yeah, David Coverdale was in Deep Purple for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, here's something interesting.
1974, he was in Deep Purple.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Smoke on the Water's about a fire that actually happened.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Anyway, that's another story.
Our harmonic Earth explains the celestial dome or firmament constitutes a physical or electrodynamic boundary layer that encloses the atmosphere functioning as a pressurized vessel and providing the guided track along which the sun and moon traverse their diurnal circuits. The sun operates as a localized electromagnetic plasma source, moving along a concentric helical path above the planar surface. Seasonal variations arise as the sun's trajectory transitions between three concentric annular paths: the inner Tropic of Cancer, the equatorial path, and the outer Tropic of Capricorn, to maintain a constant 24-hour rotational period while traversing the larger circumference of the outer ring. The sun's tangential velocity increases proportionally. The atmosphere contains ionizable and optically active gaseous compounds that function as a distributed gradient lens, facilitating the observational paradox of the sun's invariant angular diameter. As the sun's radial distance from an observer increases, the cumulative atmospheric density magnifies its apparent angular extent through positive refractive lensing, precisely compensating for geometric perspective reduction, maintaining a constant 0.5 degree visual angle. The elevated atmospheric density resulting from thermal gradients adjacent to the Antarctic perimeter produces an increased refractive index bending the sun's ray path toward the observer. The dome's reflective internal surface permits optical circulation at its peripheral boundary, preserving visual contact with the solar emissions even at extreme radial distances. Explaining the midnight sun observed in southern regions, sunset occurs when its radial distance reaches the critical threshold where atmospheric optical density and perspective convergence attenuate its luminous flux beyond visual detection. The stars constitute electromagnetic excitations moving synchronously with the dome's rotation, Polaris marking the axial center of this celestial hemisphere. Observers positioned near the axial center view circular star trails, while observers near the equator view a vertical rotational path. The apparent southern celestial pole represents an optical convergence artifact, an etheric projection generated by the dome's curvature and the ionizable atmospheric medium. Observers in southern hemisphere do not perceive the southern axis simultaneously. Transiting the equatorial boundary reorients the observer's relative perspective, causing the moon and constellations to appear inverted, explaining the empirically observed apparent rotation of the moon. The entire system operates through electromagnetic dynamics. Celestial body is maintained in position through flux pining and magnetostatic levitation within the ambient field. Objects exhibit vertical motion based on their density differential relative to the surrounding fluid medium. This accounts for all observable celestial phenomena without the unobserved theoretical postulates inherent in the standard model.
The standard model.
That's a pretty good one, though. You have to admit. I mean, that one. I understand. I mean, it's like I've watched it now. That's the second time I've watched it, and I'm like, okay, there's actually more to it that he could have elaborated on. I think, like the electrostatic aspect of it, But I think it's covered. I think if you really think on it, I really hope people's minds work. You know what I'm saying? I get really tired of having to totally lay shit out, explain it. Well, I guess that's why people like to listen to me, because I can break it down into simple terms, break shit down, That's my guess anyway. Either that or it's just because I'm so goddamn good looking. This is kind of cool. This is from back in the day. Back in the day. Oh, shit. Hold on. Don't do that yet. Showing shit. Power of electronics. I've been meaning to hit my bong and I keep forgetting.
The ring being in effect a one-turn shorted secondary. A smaller ring will react even more violently. Here is another ring. This one made of a material we say is non-conductive. And it is completely unaffected. Here is another example. Several thousand watts of power were involved in that spark. If we replace the spark gap with a copper coil, the same power now flows through the coil. It's invisible, has no effect on many substances, but it can generate a lot of heat.
Induction.
Wood, paper, things that we think of as being quite inflammable are not affected at all. However, a piece of steel wool bursts into flame instantly.
Jeez Louise.
Did you ever fry an egg on a cold stove? It's no trick at all if you have the right equipment. This is a cold hot plate. And because it's cold, you can make it out of wood, if you like. Just be sure that there's a coil of wire inside and that you connect that coil to a high voltage alternating current source. The rest is easy. As long as we're being different, we'll use motor oil instead of Crisco.
Well, you won't be able to eat it now.
The egg fries very quickly, but the stove remains perfectly cold. In fact, if you wish to keep it handy, you can fry your egg on the morning newspaper. With a gadget like this, you can get up in the morning, sit on the stove, read the morning newspaper, and fry the eggs in your lap. Another example of the fact that physical forces can be quite selective in their effect.
Yep. Yeah. Daniel Becker said your contain a kettle to boil water runs off induction tech. Yes, it does. Because my dad refused to buy a coffee maker for the longest time. He was funny. He refused to buy the coffee maker. He was like, I don't need it. I said, why don't you get a coffee maker? He's like, nah, I don't need it. This is when I was living with my dad. And he would always just get the metal coffee pot. You know, like the old school metal ones that you took the top off and it had the little beaker on the top. You took it out and you pulled out the thing, you put the filter inside, and it would bubble up from the bottom, and you would see the little percolator on the top, the little glass. He refused to buy a coffee maker. He used that thing for like 30 years. Yeah,
The old percolator.
And you take the center of it out. It's got the little cup on the bottom, so it stands up straight. You drop the filter in it. And I was like,
so this hardware store that I worked at out in Lone Pine, California, they're bragging that they have everything, right? It's the everything store. And it's a hardware store. It's a True Value hardware store. And it's they've got
French
camping gear, they've got climbing equipment, I mean, just about everything. And as far as hardware, I mean, there's all this shit is crammed in this little store, right? Paint, got a lumber yard down the street, cut glass there out back, the whole thing. Somebody come in there, they'd always challenge. And somebody came in there looking for one of those glass tops for a percolator. He said, I bet you don't have one of those. And I said, I bet you I do. I took him right to it. I says, here you go. He says, oh my God. Now,
Marie Tatasol mentioned the press. I've used those too. I've had a Vietnamese coffee I had in like a place once where it's like they fill it with hot water.
Oh, UVC.
Oh, dude, it was the strongest coffee though. It was strong as
You're
hell.
number
Just
one,
the way they
Joe.
made it. But the French use the same thing too. It's like you push it down and it's wild. Just
did you ever watch the Green Berets?
The movie?
Yeah.
I've never seen the movie. I remember the record.
You've never seen the movie with John Wayne?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh my God.
I remember the album though. I picked the album out of the trash.
And
Barry something.
The little boy in there, the little orphan Vietnamese boy, Ham Chung, poor kid. He was an orphan, and he took Sergeant Peterson. He kind of like adopted him as a dad, and then Sergeant Peterson gets killed, and poor Ham Chung is all by himself because his little dog gets killed too. It's really sad. And it shows why we're over there, to save them from those evil, rotten communist Viet Cong.
I remember the record. What was the record they came out with? And it was like a popular song, Barry something.
It was actually a guy from the army too. It was a sergeant, somebody. I forget who the fuck
Barry
it was.
something.
Fighting soldiers from the sky. These are men who jump and die. That's really
I picked the album out of the trash once. Somebody had a box of albums sitting in the trash. I was walking home and I saw a box. I was like, "Ooh, albums!" And I was in there.
That was the only pro-Vietnam movie ever made, man. Really.
Every other one of them was, Hollywood ones. Hollywood, like, I know what you're saying.
That was a mess.
Yeah.
Why we even got into that? That was ludicrous, man. It really was. French pulled out. They were smart. They got the fuck on out. Oh, but it could fall to communism. Oh, well. That hurts our industry over there. Oh, well. Sorry about your luck, bro. No. We know who controls what, right? So, yeah. That was a mess. They should have known better. The Viet Minh, who were the troops led by Ho Chi Minh against the French when it was French Indochina, they kind of had their own little bighorn, where Custer's last stand. They were surrounded and got massacred at the Battle of Dien Bien Phu. I think it was in 1958. The French said, "Fuck this, we're getting out." So we're not going to bother anymore. It wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth the loss. Here we go. Here's the United States. So,
Yeah, it was a mess. My dad said when he got out of the Navy in the late 50s, they were already talking about that place. They were already talking about that was going to be like a problem area. He got out, late 50s.
oh yeah. We had advisors over there in the early 60s. In fact, Green Berets, that shows they were, if you see what they were doing is if you recall, you haven't seen the movie. Michael Jensen is in it and he plays a reporter. And there's like a press corps that the Green Berets are escorting around their training facility and showing them why they're in Vietnam and what's going on over there and shit, Pretty trippy movie. But it's like the only pro-Vietnam movie and John Wayne, of course, he was the big red Republican.
Yeah, well, the image of it,
Yeah, well, yeah, fighting against communism, but what was really going on there? Were these people actually really fighting for? Because what they were doing, they were actually literally slaves of the basically the corporations and shit that were running the different plantations and shit, be it for rubber, what have you. And like, man, we're not getting any of this. What the fuck is going on? We should all be able to benefit from this work that we do. That's what they're looking at. They're not really looking at a political thing. They're looking at, what's better for them economic. Look, I'm not doing too good. I think I'll do better this way. Of course, I don't know. Does it ever end up that way? I don't know. They tell me North Korea is a living hell, but do I really know that? Do I really know that? Is China really bad? Are those people really I don't know, I don't like any form of government. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do or anything. I'm good. I'm not going to be doing nothing that's going to hurt anybody. Fuck it. Leave me be.
Yeah. Did you know that John Wayne came out with a record in 1973 called America, Why I Love Her?
No, I didn't, but it couldn't be any worse than William Shatner singing Rocket Man. I forgot this is LAPD is ending the agreement with flock safety.
Oh,
What do you
really?
think about that? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with it. I mean, LAPD is a shit. I mean, California's a mess anyway. I don't think any of that shit was going to help anything in the first place.
No, look, it's.
I'm not razzing Cali. I'm not razzing the people. I'm sure the people.
You don't let them put their foot in the door.
The structure there, the government structure is horrible.
You can't let them put their foot in the door. Look, they've already usurped. Before I even get into this, okay, they've already gone against, and this is why I say the Supreme Court has been on the wrong side of every fucking decision that's ever been made. They have. I swear to God. Terry versus Ohio is a great example of that. Terry stops, right? Pennsylvania versus Mims, which allows them to get you out of the car with no reason whatsoever. It's supposed to be that if they feel that you're a reasonable danger to them, they can get you out of the car. But they just use it that they can just get you out of the car. They circumvent the Fourth Amendment by using dogs who are wrong 70% of the fucking time and still try to hem people up. Look, this shit's got to go. The police are the standing army that is supposed to be prevented by the Constitution. But it looks like nobody gives a fuck about the Constitution anymore. We're not going by that anymore, I guess. We don't have any rights.
Yeah, it doesn't
right?
seem that way.
We don't have rights to a Fourth Amendment. Isn't that like stalking? What would happen if I stalked somebody?
You'd be arrested.
And track their every whereabouts that they go and everything else like that. Well, that's stalking, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, how come we should use that? We should use that stalking laws. You know.
Well, the thing is that they say that there's no privacy in public, and this is the thing that grabs me is that if you take a camera and go on the street and just stand there and film whatever you see for an hour, people will call the police on you literally, and don't have now that they don't have any problem getting pissed off about, but they don't get pissed off about when they walk into any store, when they go to any DMV, when they fucking get in their fancy electric cars, it's filming them all the time. They don't have a problem with that. They don't have a problem with the phone in their hand. They don't have a problem with taking pictures of themselves constantly at stoplights and throwing their whole life online, doing all kinds of stupid shit on these social media shit, and they don't even think about it. But if you stand there on a sidewalk with a camera in your hand and don't say a word to anybody, just film whatever's going on, the traffic going by, the sky, chemtrails, doesn't matter what it is, anything. Somebody will literally say, oh, wow, that's weird. That guy's standing in with a camera. Or if you've got a body camera on and walk into a store or walk into any of these places I mentioned, and not even, what do you call it? People freak out. It's like, wait a minute, hold on. You don't have a problem with that thing in your hand or that shit on the street light. You don't have a problem with putting facial recognition when you walk in that store. That's perfectly okay. That doesn't bother you at all. You know, that's the thing that I get is like this cognitive diss that these people don't understand that this shit's going to get worse and worse and worse. And worse. Like it's distrust for these corporations to do this, and they can't. It's almost like they don't give a shit. You know, or they're just too stupid to realize that this is a slippery slope of, you know, some creepy asshole looking at you all the time. You know what I mean?
Man. These fucking. The future sucks, man. And you know, it's like it truly is turning into like it's almost like I got this in my head, a Venn diagram that's like part Terminator, part 1984,
Prison Planet.
You know what I'm saying? It's like
Prison
wow.
Planet.
I saw it coming. You know, I mean, remember in the Batman movie, and he hooked up all the fucking, he got it so that he was pinging everybody's cell phone and getting a 3D holographic map of everywhere in Gotham City, everything that was happening. And I was like, oh my God. I said, they got that already. I'll guarantee it. This is what the massive data centers are for right here.
Yeah, it's information. You know, the computer shit, them building all them data centers has jacked up. Well, before this happened, it was.
I'm gonna have to make a robot of myself or something, dude.
You're gonna have to tinfoil everything. Tinfoil your head. Wear a tinfoil suit.
Anyway, let's watch it and see what's up.
LAPD says that it helps them in tracking down suspects involved in a crime. Now, some people in the community like that surveillance. Others say that it violates their privacy. LAPD says that concern is what led to its decision.
Well, this contract's not being renewed because of serious concerns around civil liberty and civil rights issues, particularly around privacy and the data that's being collected from these cameras. So the LAPD had to make a difficult decision of continuing, in this case, discontinuing using Flock services until we can get those data, privacy, security, and sharing concerns ironed out through a contractual relationship.
LAPD's contract with Flock ends tomorrow, and their tech department is not sure if the cameras will still be recording. LAPD doesn't own the cameras. In many cases, they are owned by organizations and homeowners associations who have allowed police and the city to have access to them.
Homeowners association.
Now, LAPD says it is having ongoing conversations with the company in revising the agreement. They want updated language around privacy and the storing of data to be included in this new agreement. I've reached out to Flock for a comment about this, and I am still awaiting a response.
good luck. You're never going to get it.
No,
you're waiting a response from people who are never going to respond to you.
You can't find their fucking headquarters. It's like hidden. They're like hidden.
What I was saying was that the Bitcoin, you know, from all the miners, people mining Bitcoin, jacked up all the prices of computer parts stuff for, you know, building computers, and now all the data centers have jacked up all the prices for all the memory for computer memory. So now the computer memory, to buy memory for a modern, you know, PC that you would have in your home, it's like 5 times the price. You know, same memory I could have bought 2-3 years ago, you know, at $50-$60 is now, you know, 500. It's ridiculous. So I mean, they're killing PCs off at the same time because of the cost, and now people are buying tablets and phones where, of course, it's, you know, easy to get more information. So at the same time, it's killing the PC, and it's pushing you over to the phone, which is even more snoopy, you know. So
what was this? Okay, so this is from the Supreme Court of the United States, Carpenter versus United States, 2018. Individuals have a reasonable expectation of privacy in the comprehensive record of their physical movements. Block cameras are in direct violation of the Fourth Amendment.
yeah, they should be. I mean, especially for some kind of gain. I mean, that they're being paid to do that. I mean, I don't know. It's such a slippery slope of friggin', you know, of this whole thing. It comes down to, you know, they're making money off of taking your picture constantly and mapping you out and seeing where you go. It's slimy.
We need to revolt before Skynet.
All right, well, license plate cameras have helped police solve homicides, find missing children, and recover stolen cars. But a growing number of cases are raising questions about who's watching the watchers, so to speak. In Milwaukee, for example, a second police officer is now facing criminal charges for allegedly misusing the flock camera system to track people for personal reasons. Closer to home, Westland police have decided not to pursue renewing the city's flock camera contract after months of community concerns about privacy, transparency, and oversight. Well, joining us now is attorney Eli Muwad to talk about the legal concerns, privacy, and whether there are enough safeguards. Thank you for coming in and talking to us tonight.
Nice to see you, Dave.
So what's your take overall on this? I mean, this is a delicate balance, obviously.
So as a criminal defense attorney, we get a lot of business from the flock cameras. Lately, you've been seeing a lot more mentions with law enforcement on flock cameras. The United States Supreme Court has said you put your car out there in the public, you're subject to have your license plate read. It's fair game. Doesn't violate the Constitution. If it's you see a lot of the flocks on the expressways and highways that are controlled by the state, so they're legal if the city wants them or if the state wants them.
So what kind of legislation or reform do people want to see as far as the storage of this kind of information and who ultimately accesses it?
So the concern is that they're going to take that information, share it with other states. But I've seen other states, law enforcement officials from other states, ask Michigan, we need your flock to see if they're in that state for an investigation. There is a concern that private companies are going to take that information and do stuff with it if it's sent to private. So the legislature has to kind of pare down who can use the flocks for what purpose and what you can and cannot do with it.
It seems like this technology is moving faster than lawmakers and policymakers really can move in their debate on this on both sides.
I will tell you, the majority of people that are public safety conscious want them. Westland, really, this is probably the first city that I've seen that is really, really, really against them. And the city council member said, look, they're so against them, we are not going to renew the contract with the flock company. So I guess it depends what type of politics you have and what your community mainly is, more right, more left, maybe more independent. But to a lot of people, nobody pays attention to the flocks anyway. It's only people that are either arrested by them or because of them, or some people that see them on the streets and make a comment on them. Boy, I don't really like people watching me.
On one hand, it seems that we see a lot of police chiefs defending it across Metro Detroit, across the state. There's also a grassroots movement going from city council to city council meeting, urging elected officials to say no to renewals or to drop any consideration if they haven't used it already.
Yeah, and I can tell you that when I've talked to police officers, at least on my cases, they love the flock but they also say, well, if they help in kidnapping, they help in shootings, they help in so many situations that if, let's say if I was kidnapped, they have my plate number, somebody takes me in my car, you're going to want that flock out there. You're going to want that security. So a lot of people like it, but a lot of people don't like it. Right now, you got to have a balance.
Yeah, we just had a carjacking we were reporting on tonight.
Yeah.
We don't know if Flock has been assisting law enforcement in that, but it's just one of those things that we'll have to keep watching.
If a license plate was involved, I guarantee a Flock was involved.
All right. Attorney Eli Muad, thank you so much for coming in on Friday night. Happy weekend to you.
Happy weekend to you.
Dude, if you're driving around in Detroit and you don't have a GAT,
yeah,
you're just asking for a problem, bro. You carjack my ass, motherfucker, come up and try to jack my car. He's getting 45 through the face, man. That's all. You know?
That's
going.
If that's the case and people want it and they believe in it, well, then sign up for it. Don't have to make it, then make it optional. If you want to be protected by it and you want that thing to detect all your shit and read facial expressions and do all that bullshit, then sign your friggin' name. And then the cameras, whenever they see you, will do whatever the fuck they want to do that you agree to. But the people don't, some people who don't want it and don't want their shit sold and don't want their information sold and given to this one and that one, well, then you should be able to say, nah, no thanks. And whenever you renew your license, bam, there you go. No Fox for me. Have a good day. That's simple.
No, they get that Kimber 45 action on them. Somebody come up. See, in Detroit, I know, man. I lived there. They've disarmed you're not allowed to have guns. And they got
when I was there, friggin' gunshots were a nightly occurrence.
Well, yeah, that's because, those people don't give a fuck. They're criminals anyway.
The guy who was an old friend of mine I was staying with, every morning, when I would stay there, I'd work for him, go do lawns, and we clean up properties. And, it's general shit. He'd say, hey, stop by. I'll give you some work. I was like, all right, yeah, I'll come by. So I'd hang out with him for a few days. And he never left that house ever without having something on him. Never, ever walked out of that house, even in his backyard. If he was walking out his front door, he always had something on him, always. He would tell me, hey, if you want to get something, we're going to the store right now. And I'd be like, oh, no, maybe the store's at the end of the street. I'll just walk down the corner. He's like, no. You ain't walking down to the end of the corner at night down here. We'll go get it right now. And I'm like, all right, man.
Where was it?
Brightmoor.
In Detroit?
Yeah, West Detroit. Brightmoor, it was called. And
okay.
It was a rough place.
Any cross streets that I'd know?
No. I mean, I'd have to look it up. It's been shit. It was probably the early 90s.
It's probably over near the Cass Corridor.
Hold on.
Dude, listen. If you know, the Cass Corridor looks like a war zone.
Oh, the place he lived looked like a war zone. You could go 2 blocks away, and the whole block was burned down. Every house there was burned to the ground.
That's from the riots, dude.
The city would pay him to go and mow the lawns, just so it didn't get overgrown.
Yeah.
And that was what he would have me do when I would go stay with him. He'd say, come on, I'll give you a mow. You can go mow some lawns for me. And I'm like, all right, yeah. And he'd pay me, let me stay at his house, never asked for a penny. I tried to give him money, wouldn't take it. He's like, no, you're helping me out, man. It's no big deal. But the city would pay him to go and mow up, these burned out houses just so they didn't look insane. But
listen, that used to where you're talking about there. I know exactly where you're talking about.
It's the northwest border of Detroit, Michigan.
Yep. That used to be a really nice neighborhood.
Yeah.
You can tell by if you look what those houses looked like in their glory and what those buildings look like. Man, Detroit was a really nice city at one time. It really was. And it went to shit. It totally went to shit, especially at the riots in 1967, man. Yeah. Oh, that was really bad. The National Guard had to be called in. They were burning shit down everywhere. There was fires. It was pretty bad, man. I remember my dad was packing a pistol going to work every day.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
North Rosedale, Westwood, Grandmont, I'm looking at it on Google Maps. Old Redford.
Oh, Raj is live. I was going to thank him for his donation. He sent me a donation. Thank you, Roger. What's he doing live right now? Roger Ledwell is live. Saddlebum, were you told to come tell me that? I have to get to that link through the other thing over here. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Let me see what I'm doing.
I sent you a link on Google Maps that outlines the Brightmoor on the link on the side so you can see where it is.
Hang on.
Franklin Park, Warren.
Oh, he's not live yet.
North
He's not
of
live yet. He's live in an hour.
Yeah, he just got a message that he's going to have a live.
Okay. All right. Cool.
It's
yeah, I see it. I see it.
That place is in between Livonia and Hamtramck.
Yeah. Okay. Hamtramck. Oh, you know how to pronounce it.
What, Hamtramck?
Yeah.
Yeah. We had to drive through it. Drove through it. Out there.
It's not spelled. Look at the way it's spelled, though. Look at the way Hamtramck is spelled. Let me see.
Yeah,
where are we at? There's Barton McFarland Hotel Museum.
I took the bus from New York City to Detroit.
Yeah, Hamtramck.
Yeah, the way it's spelled.
It was nuts. But yeah, that's the Polak area. That's the Polish area of Detroit. Over there where Hamtramck is at. Yeah, Brightmoor, I see it. That's the projects, dude.
Oh, dude, it's really bad.
Yeah, that's the projects.
I mean, I was there in the early 90s, like 91, 92. I was really young. And my buddy had said, hey, if you ever need work and you're in Woody Call, give me a call. And I called him once and he said, yeah, I got a buddy who lives in Detroit. So me and my friend took the bus. Well, he got off in New York City. I kept on going. So I took the bus from Boston to New York, then stayed at his house, then got on the bus and went from New York to Detroit.
I'm not on that. Hold on.
It was a crazy trip. It was like the first big bus trip I ever took. So I went out there and stopped. And then my buddy used to go to Wisconsin. So once in a while I would, it was a couple of years where I took the trip with him in an RV and we drove from Massachusetts to it's up on the northern they got a ferry that crosses over from like middle Michigan on the west coast and goes over into Wisconsin, and we took the ferry once. I forget the name of the town.
Look at this picture.
Yeah, it's not.
Oh shit! Wait, where'd it go? Goddamn! Oh no, I don't want directions to there.
No, you scroll back in and go down to that little yellow man symbol. See the little yellow man on the bottom right?
Yeah.
Put the mouse pointer on it and then hold the left mouse pointer, drag it over the map. And that'll give you a street map.
Let me get over there. All right,
that'll give you a street view. It's a rough place, man.
Where
Okay,
was
yeah.
that?
Anywhere that's blue and just drop it down and it'll give you a street view.
All right.
Might take a second.
There we go. Ooh, yeah.
It looked really shitty when I was there. I can't imagine it probably looking any better because, I mean, I know that they were in the 2000s, late 2000s, they started tearing down a lot of those burned out houses.
Dearborn Heights. It's Dearborn Heights. Dearborn Heights isn't quite as bad. Anyway, that's crazy.
I stayed at a guy's house once in a place called White Pigeon, which is like southwestern Michigan, like towards the like where that like I say, it's the opposite end, but like you're going to the next state over. And we stayed down there, and that place wasn't too bad. But Detroit was a trip. I got to walk through that Ford train station that's over there now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it wasn't, there was nothing. You could just the door was just wide open. You can go in there, and there was people skating in there and spray painting all over the place.
Did you ever
bombs and shit?
You ever notice how that bottom border of Michigan has that little jog in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why that's there?
No.
It was because of a war that Michigan had with Ohio. way back in the day over Toledo.
You ever been to Indiana, Gary?
God, yeah, you can see that from everywhere. There's a big yellow sulfur cloud over it. Steel mills. We made the world's second largest blast furnace for LTB steel in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, they got that steel plant on the bottom there on Zug.
Well,
Zug.
we built that. We built this big, huge fucking blast furnace for them at this fabrication shop that I worked in, and we shipped it there in segments, and then they assembled it. Because the way you have to set them up is like this. Once those things start running, you can't shut them down. If you shut them down, they'll collapse. So they have to keep them running. And they run anywhere from 7 to 10 years. And so when it starts to get where it's, failing here and failing there, they start construction and plans for a new one. Then what they'll do is they lay everybody off, shut it down, let it collapse on itself, clear it out, build the new one, and then bring everybody in to work it. And we worked on one of those. That was back in 94, I want to say. I think somewhere back in there. 93. Anyway. Drilling through the firmament. I don't know why they have this obsession of wanting to get through.
They want to leave.
To where? God damn, there's a reason that there's a reason that you're penned in here. There's a reason that you have limits. Okay.
Well, in their mind, they're not trapped. See, they can just go out the magic screen door. So there's no ceiling. Okay. They can just run out and leave.
Well, from what I understand about this blue ice, when they drill into it, right, and even take out cores, that the holes that they drill seem to heal up. Like over a period of time, they just heal up. And there's no hole there anymore.
Isn't that what Fishbowl was? The whole point of Fishbowl was to see if there was something up there. Actually, that was why they were blowing stuff up at certain elevations, so they could see if it was hitting something.
Man, it's hit. There's something up there. I mean, there has to be. There's no other way that we'd even be able to breathe air unless we were in a closed system. So
Pressure.
There's definitely sorry, man.
It's got to be in a container, otherwise
it has to, man.
No PSI.
No specific volume of gases.
Yeah.
You can't have them without something to put them in. Yeah. Fluids don't have a fucking shape. You can't have an atmosphere unless it's in a sphere. It's dumb. You can't mold fluid into a fucking shape and expect it to retain that shape without something to hold it in that shape. That's the nature of fluid. I mean, I feel like I'm retarded having to explain that to people. Same thing with gases. Gases require physical containment to be in any specific volume. Otherwise, they'll disperse to fill the empty space.
Yep.
It's their nature. Some do it at faster rates than others. The temperature will cause gases to react in a specific way, but at different rates depending on the gas. And so some will disperse faster than others. I don't know why people don't. I can see it like in my head, but it's hard to tell people. Oh, I hear Moonshadow getting hollered at.
In the 1960s, the U.S. Army had a plan to bore a tunnel into the wall, but they didn't have a boring machine that could handle the super cold temperatures, so they had a whole testing project in Greenland where they developed ice tunnels and invented new boring machines that could operate in super cold temperatures. So this was back when they were going into forming NASA and all the other things that were kind of strange, the Antarctic Treaty around that time, pretty close to it. And he says, like they did this whole big thing in Greenland for just practice. So it was like they were practicing to bore into the sky ice. And once they had the new boring machine figured out, they brought it to the wall in Antarctica. He said that the machine bored a tunnel like 5 or 10 miles into the wall, but that they never broke through the other side of the wall, and that they still don't know how thick the wall is even to this day. First, the floor of the tunnel was solid rock, but after a mile or two in, the floor was sky ice, like it was sky ice underneath after a certain point. And apparently the wall slowly builds itself back up after you cut it, because after a year or so, the tunnel had shrunk smaller all by itself, like a self-healing wound. It starts closing up. They had to leave the boring machine inside the wall because the tunnel shrunk too small to get it back out. And after a few decades, the tunnel was completely gone. Like the part of the wall was solid again. He said that now the scientists were trying to use technology to figure out how thick the wall is. He said something about putting earthquake sensors all along the wall, and that somehow you could measure the signal from an earthquake to see how thick the wall is. But I didn't think it was a big deal at the time. But then a few weeks ago, I saw a map of the wall in Antarctica, except the map was all flat and crazy looking, and it showed the wall going all the way up over the whole Earth.
What?
I mean, you consider that them digging into the ground, they only went 7 miles. I think the United States went way less than that before they stopped digging. And the Soviets dug for another 10 years and only went another mile, I think a mile and a half. And that was it. It was melting everything that they were trying to throw at it. And I mean,
what is their desperation of getting out of the Earth system?
I know.
Why would you want to? Everything you could possibly need is here. Everything. Why would you want to go somewhere else? Where is there to go? How do you know? Dude, there's a reason that it's impenetrable. No one gets out of here alive. You understand? That's just all there is to it. And maybe, now just maybe, and hear me out, that maybe the way out is down through the depths of the ocean, in the deepest depths of the ocean, in the abyss. I think that the way out is down, not up. If you wanted to go there, I don't know why. What the fuck's there? What are you gonna get? How's that gonna work out for you?
So they're explorers. They want to explore.
Well, adios, amigos. You know what I'm saying? Live stream it as much as you can, I guess.
Yeah.
maybe Elon will come up with CNET or something by then.
Yeah,
CX. I thought this was cute. This was pretty funny. You guys will like this.
If a parent asks their kid, "Did you eat the missing pie?" and he points at 7 other kids and insists they told a lie, wouldn't there be consequences? Wouldn't there be some tears? Isn't that the sort of thing he'll outgrow in some years? If a teacher asks a student why they didn't do the work, and he stomps around the classroom and he's acting like a jerk, wouldn't he get detention? won't he get sent home? How come now that he's older, his tantrums have only grown? So why, my friends, are we here now with a toddler for a leader? How come everyone lets him slide just like his bottom feeders? And why is any of this behavior a thing to emulate? How come he's not held accountable? Why does everybody hesitate? Your hero is a man, baby, a man, baby, a little man, baby. Perhaps that was your plan, baby. An itty bitty man, baby. He only plays the fool, and boy keeps getting booed. And when the boo-boo's self-inflicted, he finds somebody else to sue. A little itty bitty, really shitty, spineless chicken man, baby. If a kid cuts in the lunch line and says he got there first, and when anybody calls him out, he shows them he's the worst. Shouldn't somebody stop him? Won't somebody care? How come he takes and takes and takes while it's pretended to be fair? If a coach puts you in the big game and you strike out every time, do you blame the bat, the ball, the field, or just the umpires crying? Wouldn't folks start laughing? Wouldn't they protest? How are you supposed to learn a damn thing if you're always told you're the best? Your hero is a man, baby, a man, baby, a little man, baby. Perhaps that was your plan, maybe. An itty bitty man, baby. He only plays the fool, and boy keeps getting booed. And when the boo-boo's self-inflicted, he finds somebody else to sue. A little itty bitty, really shitty, spineless chicken man, baby.
That's fucking hilarious. I don't know. I thought y'all might like that. Did you? Did you? This is kind of cool too, man.
I got to run in a couple minutes. We're getting up on almost 3:20.
Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't. Not there no more. What happened? Wait. Copy link. It's gone. Oh well. So much for that one. What was this one?
I looked on Polyglobe, and there really ain't much going on in there.
There we go. Let's see if this one's still there. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. This is while they put Flock under surveillance.
Put a camera and watch Flock.
Yeah.
So anyways, we started filming their employees, and when they would pull up in their car, and I'd be like, hey, sir, just want to let you know you're under surveillance, but don't worry, it's for your safety. And they were all spooked and they get away. And I was like running with their car with the camera. And then another employee comes up and I'm like, hey, sir, do you work for Flock? He's like, Flock, never heard of it. What's that? I'm actually for this construction company. I'm like, okay, probably not, but okay. Then the police come in, they box our car in from leaving the parking lot. And even people in that business area that were trying to just go to work, they held them there. And they're like, no, you got to talk with this guy before you leave. And I'm like, so are you detaining me? We have a showdown with the police where they wrongfully are just keeping me there, not answering my questions. Anyways, we talked to the Flock guy, and he's like, you know what? I felt very unsafe. I said, sir, did you feel unsafe because we were filming you? He's like, yes. I'm like,
oh,
like, come on now.
Shoes on the other foot now, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, sure does.
So anyways, we started filming their employees, and when they would pull up in their car.
Film their shit and watch what happens. Yeah, but they can film you tonight and day. That's perfectly okay. But you know,
Yep.
they don't, that's not creepy or fucking making anybody feel uncomfortable. It's like, listen, that shit's gonna stop. What's that? Something burning?
That's what it looks like. Hang on, let me get to
Or
it.
is a solid rock?
No, it looks like free energy. It looks like the steeple is like emitting energy or something. It seems to be some kind of a high density fog too.
Oh, freaky.
That is kind of weird. Huh. Thing about the moon. Okay, Mitch McConnell. What do you think? Do you think he's really dead, dude?
Oh, he's alive. Mitch, listen, soon you'll be seeing him on a boat and a yacht. You'll be seeing all kinds of AI Mitch McConnell. He's been in office for 300 years.
Yeah. Turtle watch, day 76.
Turtle.
He does look like a fucking turtle, don't he? Come on, man. He does.
Last
You know
time
he
I
does.
saw him, he fell. Some reporter was trying to talk to him as he walked by, and he couldn't. He took like 2 goofy steps and just fell over.
I was like, I look at that fucking guy and I'm like, where is your goddamn chin? Why do you not have a fucking chin?
It's a neck chin.
How do you eat? What the fuck, dude? Oh, you just scrape shit off with the top of, I don't know what he is. He's a lizard person. They're all lizard people.
Breaking news. Mitch McConnell is dead. According to his neighbor, he passed on June 14th of a heart attack and was unable to be resuscitated by emergency service workers. This explains why Elaine Chao went to China to meet with the CCP, and she should be investigated by the State Department. And the Freudian slip by Scott Jennings.
Term in the Senate will end here at the end of this year. So he's not on the ballot for re-election. He's going to be replaced by another senator in November. So we're coming down to the end of his storied service here. But I think even though that's true, he still has a few weeks to go. And I know from talking to him the other day, there's a bunch of issues he's still interested in and some votes that he wants to cast.
Mitch McConnell isn't running again, but he is set to serve until January. That's 6 months, not a few weeks. What is in a few weeks, though, is the deadline on whether they need to hold a special election to fill Mitch McConnell's seat. If Mitch McConnell had passed after August 3rd, they would have held the elections in November as normal, and the seat would have remained vacant until then. Senator John Thune and John Barrasso and Scott Jennings are trying to weekend at Bernie's Mitch McConnell with these 17-minute phone calls until then.
Come on, man. They're going to try to AI some
Yeah.
shit with that, dude.
That's what I think they'll do. You know, they. I remember all the freakouts when that Beta Ginsburg lady died. And you remember the woman who was sitting in the car
Yeah.
screaming?
Yeah.
The best thing ever. They were playing that on all the like radio stations and clips and stuff of the lady screaming.
Oh my God. I remember that. Just all, yeah. What was her name? God damn it. Her first name. Ginsburg. What was her name?
Ruth
Ginsburg.
Ginsburg.
Ruth
Yeah.
Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah. And I mean, they went weeks and weeks and weeks before they came out and told everybody that she was dead, and that was only because they couldn't hide it anymore.
Well, did you hear? Did you hear where they detained the IDF detained Ro Khanna? He went over to Israel and they detained him.
Oh yeah, that was a little while ago.
Yeah, it's today or yesterday, wasn't it?
Rokana?
What is it?
They detained another one too, a Democratic guy too, and I forget who his name was a while ago. Oh yeah, it says he was detained by settlers.
Tucker
7 hours
Carlson.
ago.
Tucker Carlson.
Tucker Carlson, thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, Ro Khanna's in the Congress, right?
Yeah, asked after his release whether he was running for president. Connor said, "I'm strongly considering it, and I'm more resolved to consider it after this trip." He
Oh,
said he was detained by Israeli settlers armed with U.S.-made rifles during a West Bank visit this week that he cast as an unfiltered look at the human toll of Israel occupation as he weighs a 2028 presidential run.
wow.
He said, quote, "And these hoodlums come in with machine guns, M4s, an American-made machine gun, and they detain us. They block us off the road. Then they call the IDF, and the IDF's on their side." It said, "Not on the side of the Americans," Kana said, referring to the Israel Defense Forces. So they literally just blocked him off the side of the road and fucking pointed M4s at him. It's like, oh, so they don't give two shits about the shit that you just gave them, and now they're detaining you with the crap that you gave them. How
God,
ironic.
dude. I know. Look, man, this is exactly this is yeah. You know, what do you expect? What do you expect? Oh, we need to get what do you expect? God damn it, you know? It's here, kick the football again, Charlie Brown. Kick the football.
Yeah. Do
Yeah,
that here
man.
and you're complete opposite response.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll do it there and forget about it. I've seen the videos years ago with the women on the street. I know that now they have that Chinese girl that's over there trying to talk about Jesus on the street, and kids spitting on her. I saw videos years ago of like missionary people trying to talk to people in the street. It nearly caused a riot. Some kind of cops had to step in and freaking get them out of there. People were throwing shit at them and all kinds of stuff. It's like, yeah, why the fuck are we giving them anything? This isn't a compatible shit. It's like it's not the same society. You're not going to go over there and just go on the street and say shit. It's just those, it's like, but do that here and watch what happens. You get a completely different reaction.
This is a cool photograph, dude. There's one of the reasons why they whited out all the skies and shit in these old photographs. Look at that.
Yeah, airships.
Ooh, airships, dude. Airships.
They could go places that planes couldn't go,
Of course. Of course. Well, I don't see nothing really new. I'm just looking to make sure. And then I think we're going to go ahead and, unless there's anything breaking. If there's anything breaking, of course, we'll need to go in there and fix it, right?
Yeah, I glanced around while we were talking for a while, and I didn't really see too much happening. They were talking about the whole Israel getting full access to any of our intelligence and all the intelligence agencies. I read something earlier that they were literally, some congressmen were trying to bring it to a vote, and the federal government was like, "Nah, we're not even going to let you vote on it." So it's a shit show.
As always.
Yeah,
as always.
Like, I expect nothing less from Congress. Their ability to do anything at this point. They're all paid off by those people anyway. So why would they do that in the first place? Because I think, one, they probably want to get a vote so that everyone will see who will vote yes and no. But I mean, in reality, they're all crooked. I think they're just trying to do that so they can prop up new people in certain states to get them into the office so they can just keep the grift going. That's all it is.
Here's another place built by Donkeys Inc. Check this out. Man, I've been to places like this, and it's like fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's crazy ornate.
Look at that.
Would you think that would be like a life's work to get that kind of detail out of it, or is that just something that they cast into things?
Man,
because I couldn't see people all sitting there doing that for their entire life, spending working 6 days a week to hand chisel out all that. I mean,
no, it's done too precisely, too too much precision. It's obvious that there's some kind of, like you say,
Casting.
it's either casting or but at some point to make those molds is still quite delicate. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
have you ever seen the Indian ones? The
Yeah.
giant Indian, oh, dude, those make
and look
this
at the
look
acoustic. Look at the acoustic nature of those
yeah,
arches.
yeah.
Look at the acoustic nature of those
Yeah,
arches.
almost like a speaker cone.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, resonate, or like a
Amazing.
resonant chamber.
Just without the sound, play it real quick. And see these rose windows, those are like cavity resonators.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. This is built to project sound. This is built to project frequency. Look at
Almost,
this thing.
almost
It's
like
a
a
big
giant
boom box. It's a
Yeah.
giant boom box. Look
I was
at
just
it.
gonna say that.
It's a giant fucking boom box.
Giant speaker box.
Oh, I'd like to see the fucking
The wildest one I ever seen was the
organ inside it. I'd like to see the pipe organ inside it.
The
I wish-
wildest one I've ever seen was the Indian one where they built a temple upside down. So it's built upside down. So the temple is built into the ground. It's
Yeah.
literally upside down. They didn't build it from the ground up. They built it into the ground. And I was like, the wildest thing I've ever seen. And I was like, that is insane. I mean, it's like 12 stories down. You have to walk down these wild stairs to get down to the bottom of it and stuff. And it's just literally, instead of them standing it up, they just pointed it into the ground. And I was like, wow, that's some crazy shit right there to build it upside down. You know, and give yourself a fucking challenge. Hey, can you build it upside down? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, here's that thing. U.S. Democratic Representative Ro Khanna was detained by Israel settlers while on a visit to the West Bank. He's become the first American congressman in history to be detained by Israel settlers. Yeah. That's fucking crazy. Well, see, what we should do, we should really just team up with Iran, destroy Israel, and they probably just like give us free oil. You know what I'm saying? They would. I think. Don't you?
I don't know. My mentality is, listen, those people probably shouldn't have been put there in the first place. I don't know the backstory. Some people, religious people, say that they had that land before and it was taken. I don't know. It's a big shit show. It's a big belief shit show. I say just freaking, all right, you're there. Yeah, live in peace with the people around you. Or we're gonna, it's like, I'm more of like you do your thing, I'll do my thing, and you stay out of my shit, and I'll stay out of yours. That's fine. Once you start attacking people and doing shit like that, then yeah, everybody should be stepping in and saying, yeah, you need to stop when you're leaving. It's wild that it comes down to this like whole religious belief that we're the supreme people and F everybody else that isn't us, just treat everybody like like dogs. You know what I mean? Like their mentality sucks. They're like the worst neighbor in the world to have living next door to you. Everybody around them has been attacked, basically. Everybody, every person. Now they're trying to go after Turkey.
Right.
Now they're saying that Turkey is now is a threat to the whole stability of the Middle East. Get the fuck out of here. The only unstable shit is you.
I know.
Everything fucking they like project onto other people is fucking wild.
Dude.
It
it's like
riles me
people
up.
just gobble it up. This is the thing. People just gobble that shit up and they just repeat it. And it's based on who they hear it from, right? Like the old people they're gonna like say whatever their favorite Fox News personality says. They're gonna repeat that like a fucking parrot. Just like trust the science, trust the science. I was like, oh my fucking God. They just squawk and mass tracks mass, mass tracks mass. No, it doesn't. Shut the fuck up. That's dumb.
Got to toe the line.
Mm.
Some people, it's easier, Some
I
people
don't know
just
how
go the easy
anybody.
road.
Oh my God, I know. That's
That's that, man. Doesn't matter what they could come up with. They'll just say,
be
okay,
part of the
that's
crowd.
fine.
Be
Yeah,
part of the
in
crowd. Be part of the team. That's what you want. You want to be part of the crowd, part of the team. That's what you're after. See, and he's and I mean that's what people think they should be, and it's not, man. That's why I'm a glitch in the matrix. I don't want to be part of the team. Man, team looks like it's fucking imploding. I don't want to be in that.
I'm down for helping people. I'm down
Yeah,
for
I mean,
helping
yeah.
out.
Yeah, listen, I want to wake people up and look, start thinking for yourself, okay? Quit being deluded by these illusions, okay? You're not on a spinning ball going through space. First of all, you're not that. Everything they told you about history is a fucking lie, okay? Even your goddamn revolution, it's a psyop. Boom. Okay, it's a psyop. It's all you got to do. It's just look at the basics. It's a psyop. Boom.
Soon as the founding happened, they registered in England.
Shit. They did it in England before they gave them the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah.
2 days before they went and asked permission to have it declare independence.
So it's probably
Then
never
pretended
so,
they had some kind of war.
so do you think that we're just a kind of an offshoot for the king and queen? We've always been?
Yeah.
Like a colony?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Kind of like Canada or Australia or
Yes, absolutely.
or
The
any
great
of the other
experiment. The great
Commonwealth.
experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they could just make the image like you've got this special freedom and you're special people, but in reality, you just run by the same people that were there before.
Look at the extent that the United States president went to in order to appease the pleas of the crown and primarily the Prime Minister of Great Britain, so that to get United States involvement. Now, we was already on shaky grounds with our Lend-Lease program, right? We were giving Britain arms. We were giving them guns. They wanted troops. We had mercenaries. We had U.S. military trained pilots fighting as mercenaries for the Royal Air Force in the Battle of Britain. I think that was from May of 1940 to September of 1940. It was trying to soften up for what now this is what history tells me is that Germany was planning an amphibious invasion of Great Britain called Operation Sea Lion. But they needed to gain air superiority over Great Britain before they could do such an operation. Kind of a reverse D-Day thing, if you dig what I'm coming from.
Yep. I looked up the word incorporates, and it means to include or blend something as an integral part of a whole.
Yeah.
In business and law, it refers to the process of legally registering a company to form a separate corporate entity.
Yeah. Yep. The Virginia Corp became the United States.
Just to form a corporation,
Here we
registering
are,
a business, registering a.
Going to fucking hell in a handbasket, brother.
It says Here's what it says: registering a business to give it a distinct legal identity. An owner might choose to incorporate a small style, incorporation, the legal process of establishing a corporation like an LLC or a C corp to separate business assets from personal ones. So,
okay.
So the money and, it's an integrated. So, so we would just, they gave that illusion that we were going to, oh, you're free. No, we're just another corporation. Congratulations, you sold your soul to the company store, as they used to say.
I'm just looking to see if there's anything at all. I don't think so. I think that's good enough for us tonight. I think we better shut her down, man. I want to get off here.
Yeah, I got to get out of this
You
chair.
too.
It was good seeing you, man.
Yeah, man, you too. And plus, Roger's going to be coming on here in a few minutes and everything. Go over there, show Roger some love. Watch his show. I'm going to probably go in here and go to bed. I'm tired. So
Good to see you. Good to see everybody in chat too. Thanks.
yeah,
for coming.
man. Thanks for coming on, D man. You're always welcome up here. I love having you up here.
No problem,
And
man.
everybody
Always a
else
pleasure.
does too. So fuck, hey,
Sees all on the street.
Like Ed McMahon, sort of,
Hey-o.
And then don't just disappear like the fucking Mandela effect thing.
You are correct, sir.
Yeah. Oh my God, that guy. He was all the time. He was just he was a professional yes man.
Yes, he was.
He was. Yeah, he was. I liked him.
He was a boozer too. He was a big boozer. Little Ed McMahon.
Oh yeah. Speaking. Oh yeah. Then and what's his name? Brian Stanley. He's from the same town, isn't he?
What, from Ed McMahon?
Yeah, Lowell, Massachusetts.
Oh, no shit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it's not too far from where I grew up. Lowell's north of Boston. It's about, I don't know, 35 minutes.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him in a long
That's
time.
the North Shore. That's the North Shore. It's on the Atlantic. So
Yeah.
North Shore.
Yeah, I don't know. So here's supposedly a Trump tweet. Did you see this? I'm going to show this real quick before I get off here. Did you see this? 1,000 missiles are locked and loaded and aimed at the Islamic Republic of Iran, with thousands of more to immediately follow. Should the Iranian government act on its threat, pronounced in many corners of the globe, to assassinate or attempt to assassinate the sitting president of the United States of America, in this case, me. Orders have already been given, and the U.S. military is ready, willing, and able for a 1-year period of time, subject to extension, to completely decimate and destroy all areas of Iran. Praise be to Allah. President Donald J. Trump. He's been signing a lot of those saying that. Praise be to Allah.
Well, I think he should be worried in different areas with that. I think maybe he'll naturally, just because he's in such bad shape, something will happen, and then they'll use that as a pretext for for some kind of action of some sorts, and look at bring in that JD asshole, and he'll step in like
Iran assassin.
Do it for Donald. Do it for Donald. Donald's strong. We'll start some kind of fucking goofy
commemorative.
That's some stupid shit. They'll give them all kinds of excuses to do way worse shit than they're already doing.
Still waiting for Charlie Kirk bobbleheads.
Charlie Kirk's back. He's alive. We had to save him. He's President Charlie Kirk.
Oh my God. Anyway, I got to get off here, dude. I'll see you later, man. Thanks for coming up. Everybody, don't forget, Lord loves the working man. Don't never, ever, ever trust Whitey. See your doctor and get rid of him, because he'll probably fucking kill you. And it's better to shit in the sink than it is to sink in the shit. We'll see you next time. Sovereign Soul, Unchained Mind. Good night. Have fun. See you next time.